Good evening, glory. Hallelujah to you. What the heck's your story and what's going through you? Bassin' ain't easy, but it sure is a lot of fun. I'm your host, Pat Renwick, and welcome to the glorified version of a Bassin' talk show. Hello, Bass Galaxy. Give it up for you. Give it up for you. We're back in the studio. We're happy about this. It's cool. Back on the home turf. Had a good time in Minnesota last week. It's good to be back in the home studio. And guess who we're bringing aboard the crazy train back tonight? His annual visit. The one and only Hack Attack. Greg Hackney. Este Noche. That means tonight in Irish. Greg Hackney coming at us. Yeah, producing the heck out of this thing as usual, Andrew Ellenberger. He's a ginger ninja. Give it up for that guy. Red on the head like a producer should be, right, Ginge? Isn't that what they say?
Kind of got lost there, but
yeah, isn't that what your granddad used to say? Red on the head like
close,
like the producer should be.
Something like that.
That's what they used to say. And River Jimmy's here. River Jimmy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Did you mess my computer up?
Yeah.
Okay. And running the chat board tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only J.R. Ewing Rockin' Shoal Fantasy. It's all part of his Rockin' Shoal Fantasy. It's J.R. He's running the old chatter. Snap, crackling, and popping tonight. And also coming on after Greg Hackney, let us not forget Pistol Pete, Polish Pete from Omnia Fishing. Yes, he's making his visit back here. It's been a while, Ginge, hasn't it?
It's been a minute.
Since we had Pete on. Not a New York minute either. I mean, a minute is what I'm saying. But, hey, we're going to talk about our favorite baits and your favorite baits. We want to hear from you on the chat board about what your favorite baits are so far this year. And I have my tin cup tackle storage system here that we'll be talking about baits in there. And, of course, Pete's favorite baits that he's been smashing them on to, and baits that a lot of Omnia customers have been smashing them on as well. Okay, hey, moving right along, like and share the live Facebook feed. You know what that's going to get you? Does anybody know what that's going to get them? I'm asking. Oh, nobody knows. You know why? Because I didn't tell you yet. Like and share the live Facebook feed. You get the tin cup prize pack tonight. Yep, that's right. That's right. Don't be surprised if there's a little in there, which I didn't say. And all the people with the prizes. We had quite of a montage. It's a montage. Well, you know what I'm saying? I backed off on that one. I was doing South Park montage music. But, yeah, so we're getting all that together. JR, Rockin' Shoal Fantasy's taking care of that, along with the Ginger Ninja. Prizes are going out, taking care of the past prizes on to the new, and it's Tin Cup tonight. Like and share. Your chance to win all this stuff is that easy. Just like it. Share it. Take it off a private. Boom. At the end of the show, we'll pick the winner. I don't know. Ginge, you going to pick it. Pistol Pete will pick it. Foley might pick it. Courtney might pick it. I don't know. Somebody's going to pick the winner. It's the Tin Cup Whiskey giveaway tonight. Hey, Ginge, can I get some, let's pretend I won, a 4-boat derb, okay, on a river. Do you have any 4-boat derb winner on a river music? Something like that? I want to thank my sponsors. That's what I want to do. Hey, everybody, Pat Renwick here. I just want to thank everybody come out here today. My 4-boat derb. I like to fish rivers. Dang straight I do. Couldn't do it without my Crestliner XF 189. Powered by Mercury 150 Pro XS. Atlas jack plate. I got me power poles. Power pole down for pleasure. And, of course, the lightness of the Impulse lithium batteries. Hey, I couldn't have caught those fish. Nah, but for real. Hey, seriously. Ginge, cut the music. Cut the music. All right, let's quit kidding. No, but let's be serious about it. I don't know. Could I catch those fish? Nah, but the makes it a lot easier on the river. Right, Ginge? Don't it? Don't it make it easier on the river with all that stuff when you're rolling around? Don't it, River Jimmy? That's the easy. That's the easy stuff. The soft, easy way. Hey, you want to, speaking of soft and easy, you want to keep rolling, Chinch? Who do we got? And who could they be from where in this great Bass Galaxy? We don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is when you hear that. It can only be one and only. Oh, it always happens that way. It always happens like that. All right. Where's Van Halen? WTF. There it is. Chinch was rusty. So, oh my gosh, they're both back. Look at this.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Hello.
It's just a zoo. It's a freaking zoo. My mind is a zoo, Luke Foley.
Your mind is a beautiful place.
Well, thank you. At least you think so. I don't know what the heck this is.
I think it's spectacular.
Yeah, I just won a 4-boat derb and thanked all my sponsors because I couldn't have
saw
won.
that.
Yeah, I couldn't have won it without them.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God we saved the tin cup for after the derb. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
You should have seen the other 3 boats, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They were all up on
there
that.
when you do good and when you do bad.
Yeah, they were all up on that tin cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Courtney, you look amazing and welcome back. It's good to see you, as
It's been a
usual.
little while.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks since we looked at you. Isn't that like a song or something like that?
It is.
Yeah.
Bare Naked Lady.
Yes. Keep it
Boom.
hey, this is a
Always
kid's show.
music
Keep
for
it
ya.
easy. None of that, Foley. None of that. Hey, you look good, Foles. You been fishing?
Not as much as I'd like to be, but I'm going to try and get a little bit in this weekend.
Hey,
So,
Foles, tell
we'll
everybody
see.
you know that the half a spot deal, it's like it goes on for months, this half a spot thing. It's, there's multiple derbs each month. And Seth, Matt, and I, some of your Tin Cup boys, we did a little half a spotter in Minnesota. We had we had like 4 19s and a 20.
Okay.
And 2 turntables and a microphone. So, yeah, it didn't all count, but that's what you got to beat. Sign up. So we expect you, Foley, to sign up. You as well, Veronica Vaughn, sign up because I don't know. I don't think Foley's eligible, but Veronica Vaughn is eligible. She could.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Courtney, you could just like Foles, you could catch the fish. Courtney does them, and then Veronica Vaughn's in. But anyway, the grand prize is, as you know, fish anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world that
With
you want.
you.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
Oh,
That's
that'd be a fun weekend. I've been saying we need
You'll
to
be
anyway.
tired of me. You would be tired of me after the first 20 minutes. I ain't even kidding.
I've spent more than 20 minutes with you in person before.
Yes, I do have charisma. I do. Yes.
You do. You do.
Anyway, on with the show. How's Tin Cup Whiskey? How's the Twin Cup Whiskey? I sounded
It's
like
good.
Elma Flood.
That's good.
I see you guys
I'm
are-
drinking my usual old fashioned, and she's got her 10 cup and soda, and I got my Hackney flipping stick given to me by Thor himself.
Uh-huh.
That's Nancy Cooper.
I'd like to point out, he hasn't taken the plastic off of it. He refuses.
You
There's
have
nothing
to
wrong
do
with
that.
that. That's
No. You have
Perfectly
to.
normal.
That is not
Perfectly normal.
That's lame. You don't go flip with the damn plastic on. That's like
That's how I
that's
know
what kids
those are
that buy Walmart rods do. Sorry, nothing against Walmart. Nothing against. Nothing.
Yeah.
Love Walmart.
Well, that's how I
Love
know
you,
that,
Sam.
That's the one that he gave me.
I know,
So-
but if you're flipping with it, take the damn plastic off and get some juice on that thing. You know what I mean? Some,
Well, there's
some
been too
flip
much
juice,
time
son.
Oh, my goodness. We are on the water for hours.
Hours.
Hours
Great.
a week.
It's all right. That's okay. Just take the plastic off that. But that's cool.
All right, I'll
that's
take the
That's
plastic
cool that
off.
you have the deal on. And join the Half a Spot Derb. halfaspot.com. Or download the app on your smartphone, okay? That's if you
All right.
haven't done it, do it. And enter the derb. Still got months left. All that. Foles, Tin Cup Whiskey, the official brown liquor of bass fishing. Every week here on the Stray Cast Show, you and Courtney bring us the Tin Cup Whiskey word of the week. And we remind the audience, please, to drink responsibly as you sip when you hear the Tin Cup word of the week. You can sip some Tin Cup Whiskey. You can sip some ice cold Coca-Cola. Or you can, my new favorite thing right now is Hint Water. Have you ever tried Hint Water? Not a sponsor.
pretty good.
It's freaking amazing. It's $2 a gosh dang bottle. but that stuff's good. Or the good old, ladies and gentlemen, tin cup whiskey. Luke Foley, what is the tin cup word of the week this week? Uh-oh, somebody.
Well, I hope I don't offend Mr. Hackney.
Uh-oh.
But you know how he says.
Are you chirping him? Are you chirping Hack Attack?
No, I'm just saying. Like, you know how he always says, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think when he says those two phrases, you should drink.
Wow.
And when you hear it in person, when you're talking fishing by his boat, when he gives you a rod, he's like, you know what I'm saying? And I go, I know what you're saying, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So when he says, you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying, everybody's going to get a little bit we're going to get hackneyed. Everybody's going to get hackneyed tonight, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I mean.
It has a much bigger effect in person. I say, yes, I know what you're saying, Mr. Hackney, sir.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, we're looking forward to that. And again, please drink responsibly, Bass Galaxy. And thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Luke Foley. And thank you, Tin Cup Whiskey, for your support of the entire Bass Galaxy. Cheers to that. Slanche.
Thank you. Hey, I'm going to be at the Elite in Thousand Islands.
Are you? That's
passing out shirts, running the Tin Cup casting competition, doing samples. So
okay.
If anybody's up in the area, come see me. Going to be checking in on my guys. And
Luke is signing his own $20 bills and giving those out. So if you see Luke, he has a stack of 20s. He's signing them and giving them out.
I'll pay you for my autograph.
Yes, exactly. That's how he's doing it. And do you have a shirt cannon? Do you have I want you to get a shirt cannon.
You don't. I mean, I might be able to order one.
Dion wants one pretty bad.
Yeah, we need one in time. A shirt cannon is a necessity. Like and share the live Facebook feed tonight for your chance to win the Tin Cup Whiskey Wasco Wusco. Holy cow, the Tin Cup Whiskey Power Pack. Say that 10 times fast. What's in the Power Pack?
Just a whole. They won't be disappointed. It's a whole lot of stuff.
It doesn't disappoint, Foles. Are you caught up on all your prizes?
I think there's a couple guy that I haven't gotten his information. So if you haven't gotten something from me, just DM me and I'll get it out.
We'll get it. All right. And tonight, like and share the live Facebook feed for your chance to win the Tin Cup Whiskey Fun Pack. Thanks, Luke Foley. Thanks, Tin Cup Whiskey. Thanks, Courtney. I guess with that, I want to give a shout out to our horses in the race in the opens, guys. How about that, Foles? Yeah. And
who we got in the opens?
Oh, we got a bunch. I don't want I'm not naming names, but we got a bunch of horses in the races. I don't want to leave nobody out, but I want to tell everybody that we're off next week and we come back the week after that. We're going to have an open special, winner of the 15 Million Island Derb and the open winner and all that kind of goodness. So, how's that? All that in a bag of chips. Hey, what do you say we put the power poles down for pleasure and fun and to lock it in? Because when we come back, it's Greg freaking Hackney.
Bye, guys.
Peace. See you in a minute. Thank you. Love you guys. Peace.
Love you. Bye.
Things you let me see.
This is the mountain, and this is mountain whiskey. Unspoiled, untamed, forever wild. There's no safety net, no way down. Up here, it's just man, and the mountain, and his tin cup. Tin Cup Whiskey. Mountain whiskey.
know the difference between power bait and other soft plastics? Ask the fish. Berkeley scientists have. Thousands of flavors tested on thousands of fish. Natural. Man-made. Every bait that's ever hit the water. No matter the shape, size, or color, power bait is the only one that is scientifically proven. Fish bite and will not let go.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
The TH Marine Hydrowave H2 KVD Edition is a surefire way to ignite a feeding frenzy. The Hydrowave utilizes a sound-emitting technology that imitates bait fish and other feeding fish below the surface that preys on the competitive nature of bass and other game fish to get you more bites. The Hydrowave is another way that TH Marine has you covered from transom to trolling motor.
All right. Pretty good, pretty neat. Are you ready, Bass Galaxy? It's time for our annual visit from the one and only Bass Fishing Beast. Give it up, Bass Galaxy. Here he is. He's somewhere in space and time. It's the one and only Greg Hackney, live on Straight Casts. Yes, look at you. Smiling Greg Hackney. Goodness gracious me, oh my. How you doing, old son?
Doing great.
It's good to see you, dude. It's good.
Yes, good.
What do you got? Well, he's moving around all wild. What's happening here? Oh, there he is. Okay, that's a good shot. What do you got behind you, Greg?
My picture of me fishing, maybe.
Yeah.
Little area.
In a little area. I'll tell you what, I'm sure you've been expanding your area. You've been off the last 5 weeks, or you got 5 weeks off here. You still got a little time before you head up to New York. But
I'm leaving. I got everything packed. I spent the day packing, working on some fishing tackle, and I'll roll out early a.m. in the morning because it'll take me 2 days to get there.
Gotcha. So you're ready. You're going tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm headed tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll get there. Hopefully, no problems. Late Friday afternoon, sometime I'll be there.
There you go. Are you ready to smash them, Greg?
Yeah, it's I'll be honest with you. I've really enjoyed the last few weeks off too, and done a lot of fishing, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the road.
Yeah, and I know you went and hit some of them tarpoons with your son. That's amazing. No Silver Kings, bud.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's been a very, very enjoyable off period of time. I pretty much so that whole trip we went with Kobe Krieger, and that was a bucket list trip, and we caught. I'll be honest with you, maybe I caught 15 tarpon that week myself.
Wow,
it was pretty insane. Goliath grouper. I mean, it was it's pretty crazy, man. I'm not lying to you. I learned a lot. You know, it's a cool thing, regardless of what you fish for. I learned some new knots.
Okay,
you know. Find some different stuff, and you know, just it was a very educational trip, but yet really fun. I came home. I went with Gerald Sporrier offshore. We fished for yellowfin tuna. I've done a lot of fishing since I've been, you know, since we've been off. I've not done any bass fishing, I don't guess. I fished for about 50 different species in the ocean. So
you're expanding your mind. That's what you're doing, Greg.
It's cool because, you know, fishing's fishing. And I'll tell you a cool thing, the trip this last weekend, Friday and Saturday, graphing fish offshore is the same regardless of what species they are.
Wow.
If that makes sense. Like, I just done a lot of stuff I feel like the last few days that, you know, will help me if the smallmouth are deep when we get to New York. I don't know if they're deep or shallow or, you know, what to expect. But regardless, I spent a lot of time looking at my units, and I don't know. It's just been really enjoyable. A lot of times we get a break. I feel like I don't get much accomplished. This was one of the breaks that I feel like I really accomplished a lot of good time.
All right. So you didn't get too soft. You didn't get too soft.
Got to fish a lot. Spent a lot of time outside. Just was a good time.
Did you bend the Hack Attack flip stick on any of these salty dogs or what?
I did. I actually caught, let me see, when we were in Florida, I caught a couple small Goliath grouper on a flipping stick and one big cobia on a flipping stick.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But it's so funny because you think about a flipping stick being a big rod, you are a little bit, it's almost like carrying a knife to a gunfight.
Dude, you told me like 11 years ago on my Bass Buzz radio show that you wanted to catch a great white shark on a 8-foot flip stick was one of your life goals. So
yeah, I don't think that'll, now that I've experienced quite a bit of saltwater fishing, that's it's like, now I understand why they said he needed a bigger boat.
You were a little more randy back then, weren't you? You were a little more spry. 11 years ago, dude. You've thank you for all the years of support of the Bass Buzz and Stray Casts over the years, and thank you for rescheduling. I know we had some gremlins last time with Jay Powell deal, and you made me you kept me on my toes as a talk show host because I had a whole show written for the both of you. And I improvised, you know, like a horrible comedian.
Or a professional, Pat. So I felt like you could.
Thanks for testing me, Greg. You made me tougher. You toughened up my Chicago skin even more. Thank you.
I spoke to you. You were going to flip some milfoil in Minnesota. How did that work out?
You know, it worked. We went out there, and on the last day, Seth and Matt and I, we got into them. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men and a MILF. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
It was a good time. But, hey, enough about that. I want to talk about you. Here's the deal. I don't get you. And I mean no disrespect by that. You're a tough dude to figure out, okay? Like, I get your fishing. I get that. I get your style. I like your fishing style. I like your personality. I like your sense of humor. But, like, I can't quite pinpoint you. Does that make any sense to you, Greg? You want
that? So my wife says the same thing.
I'll bet she does. The Ginge and I were talking. The Ginger Ninja and Ginge, and I'm throwing Ginge under the bus here so you don't punch me when you see me. But Ginge said, yeah, sometimes Hack's kind of Jekyll and Hyde. And he meant that in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a little bit on the bipolar side. I can see that.
Like, I
I'm
mean,
an explosive personality. How about that?
I mean, you know, it's like you want Hackney on your team in a street fight, and you also want Hackney on your team at a kid's birthday party. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a world of sense. I don't know if everybody else gets that. I get
it. You're an odd bird, but I think that's a good. Describe your personality. Describe your personality to me, to us, to the best. I know that's a tough one. Describe it.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, describe it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, it is. It's possible. This is a talk show. Let's talk about this. Describe your personality.
I mean, I think you pretty much nailed it with the Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay. I mean,
gonna show up next.
How about this? Describe your sense of humor. Because, like, for example, I do a lot of research, believe it or not. I research my guests, and I watch a lot of old Bassmaster clips and Lynn Dollar clips, and man, like, you're a funny dude. Like, you're like, I don't know if you're always trying to be funny, but you're funny, and like,
I would say more cynical.
Yeah, cynical.
Yeah,
but that's funny. That's a good way to describe your humor. Very cynical.
Yeah, with sense of humor. Well, sometimes, like, and I'm not going to say I've ever hurt anybody's feelings with it, but maybe once, you know. I think I have mellowed a lot with age, and here's another thing, dude. I do get this from Julie, that, like, I grew up with a group of people that I thought a lot of, but we probably picked on each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Called one another out. I mean, and I've just always kind of been that way.
100%, bud. Like,
yeah,
I get it. I relate. Where I'm from.
Well, you know what I mean? I didn't mean anything about it. All fun, you know, but, and, yeah.
Yeah, dude. If you
one-liners for a lot of guys fishing the Elite Series.
It's what? Say that again. What for the guys fishing the Elite Series?
I mean, occasionally under my breath, I have things to say. You know what I mean? I might throw something out there every now and then. They don't always hear it, but I mean, it's there. It's floating around, you know?
Well, I think the Elites needs more shit talking. I'll be honest.
Well, still, I have a nickname for most all of them.
Wow.
Now, I'm not gonna, go any farther than that, but I do have, occasionally when I see, a wrap boat run by while we're practicing or during the tournament or whatever, I might have a nickname that I throw out there. Well, that's so and so.
You are something else. You're throwing a little salt at them.
Yeah, every now and then.
But hey, you've been at this game a while, bud. I mean, let's face it.
I've mellowed a lot too. You know what I mean? Over the years, I feel like I've probably mellowed a little.
Yeah, when you were yelling, "Get in the boat with Daddy Rabbit," like I was like, man, I don't want to mess with that cat. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a lot of.
So maybe I've learned, as I've been out there long enough, I've learned to control my emotions a little better.
Yeah, you whisper more now. You just whisper your emotions.
Just whisper. Jacked up.
You haven't really learned to control them. They're just quieter.
Yeah, just keep them a little more bottled up. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Oh man, wait till you unleash the lion. That's all I'm saying. Gosh dang, your therapist is gonna make some money off of you. You're influential. Do you know that? Like,
I don't know that.
No, you really are, dude. Like, all my buds do the Hackney. Do you know what doing the Hackney is?
I do not.
So I find myself doing it. Fighter does it. Dickie Mo does it. Bass Cat Eric does it. We all go. We look. Yeah. Sometimes it's before we set the hook. It's like you're cocking a shot. And then,
Exactly. Cocking the hammer.
Yeah. Everybody does the Hackney. And then they cross their eyes. Even the 2021 Bass Angler of the Year does it.
That's awesome.
Do the Hackney. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? We got to do a remix, bud.
Yeah.
Will you give us some sound bites, please, if we do that? You're thinking?
I don't know if now it's uncomfortable. I couldn't do it.
Gosh dang it. No, not now. I mean, like when we record it. I would have never put you on the spot for anything. Wink, wink.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when we record it. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about the awkward silenceness there or whatever. But hey, so let's get this straight, man. You're a champion. Plain and simple. And on Stray Casts, we've had the let's just say the luxury of interviewing quite a few champions over the 7 years of this show and then in the radio show we did before this. And we noticed that in champions, there's a lot of like characteristics. Do you see that? Like, do you notice similarities in champions, Craig?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And the first thing that I always notice about champs is natural ability, whether it's football, basketball, or bass fishing. You know what I mean? It's natural ability. And then there's an uncontrollable desire to win. You know, like an uncontrollable desire to almost overachieve. Am I making sense to you about champion qualities?
I think you see that in all the greats.
Yeah. And then look at this. Then
whatever.
Extremely confident. Have you ever seen an unconfident champion?
No.
No, never.
Even if they're not like, they just like it kind of, they just exude it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They don't have to, they just exude confidence.
Exactly. Not cocky,
Yeah.
not like Kenny Powers, like, Tejas, they exude the confidence, right?
Yeah.
And then the final thing is the ability to execute. The ability to execute to bring home the desire. A lot of people have all the other stuff, but they don't have the ability to execute.
Yeah, they're finishers.
Yeah, you gotta be. You gotta be a dang closer, man. You gotta be. How many wins you got? 5, 6, 7 in the bass? How many in bass?
I think 6 or 7 in bass.
Yeah, I'm Rose Rain Man in there. I mean, and Forest Wood Cup champion, angler.
Yeah, depends on the FLW tour.
Yeah, and a dang AOY, both leagues.
Yeah, and I got I'm a MILF World Champion.
MILF World Champion. Not a lot of guys can say that you are the champion of the MILFs. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Not a world champion, so to speak. Hasselhoff can't even say that. He's big in Japan. I mean, not the world. It's Greg Hackney. You're kicking ass, dude. And then you went away. You left us for a little bit. And then 2020, 4 derbs, dude. 4 derbs. And then, hey, you're back. 2021, first derb of the year, I think was Florida. And then you got like a second. You're like, hey, I'm Greg Hackney. Hi, here I am. I'm back. And quite frankly, these last 2 years you've been back, you haven't really had bad tournaments. You had maybe one in the 70s or something. But as bass fishing fans...
I had one of my worst finishes this year ever in history at Chickamauga.
Yeah, Chick. That's right, Chick.
Yep.
Yeah, you were like 75 or something, 76.
It was bad.
Yeah, dude. And here's the thing, though. Bass fishing fans, like myself, like everyone in the Bass Galaxy watching, like the Ginger Ninja, like Jimmy, like JR on the chat board, we look like, we look at stats, and if you're over 50, it's like you kind of had a bad derb. But if you're in that 50-ish, low 50-ish and below, yeah, it's a respectable tournament considering the caliber of anglers you're against. And like you said, you've had one bad one since you've been back, and pretty good.
And it was a bad one.
Hey, but you're sitting good now. Where are you? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20?
Yeah, like 16th or 17th in the points.
Okay. So
I mean, not a disaster, but we still have a lot of fishing left to do, so I need to kick it in gear.
So after everybody dropped out, you didn't move up to third place or nothing?
No.
I'm just kidding you, but not kidding you. Hey, I want to talk to you. I want to back up because I've never talked to you about this. I don't think I've talked to any angler about the extent of this. And Greg Hackney in 2006, were you a two angler Derber in 2006? Were you on FLW in 2006 as well?
Excuse me.
No, go ahead. Take a sip.
Some of that tin cup went down the wrong hole.
Take your time. I'll take a sip myself.
Whatever year the Elite Series started in
was 06.
And I had fished both trails up till 06. And then they conflicted the events. So 2006 was the first year that I did not fish both FLW and Bass.
Gotcha. Okay. But here's what I want to talk about. In 2006, there was a lot of BASS tournaments. Okay. I think the Elites had 11 Derbs. You had the
4 Elite 50s.
Yeah. And then there was like a bush shootout or something. No, not E50. What was it called? It was called something else.
Majors. So the
Majors,
first year,
yes.
So I was Rookie of the Year in 2004, and in 2005 they had the Elite 50s, which later in 2006 turned into the Majors.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it was originally the E50s, and then they changed the name to the Majors.
Okay, I remember it now that you're saying that.
The format was a little bit, but it was still like, because all the Elite 50s were like were the Mega Bucks format. If you made the final day, then they were 10 holes, and you rotated the holes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I did. I really enjoyed that. I guess that was 05. Yeah, that would have been 05 when they did that. That was the only year. When they went the next year, no, it was the same in the Majors. The Majors kept that same format in that they rotated on the final day. The top 10 rotated in a 10-hole course.
Okay, which is really cool. But
yeah, I liked it. That was a cool, because that was the old Mega Bucks format.
And then you had a bush shootout and then the Classic. I think you fished 16 tournaments for BASS this year, or that year, 2006.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And you won one. You won the at Rayburn inaugural year, the Elites, 2006.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about those majors again. Then the spawn that the E50 spawned. So 10-hole course, and then you had like different ones. You had like Legends, you had Memorial, you had like
each one of them, because I got a Don Butler trophy like from one finish in one of them, but each one of them had like a significance, each tournament. They were great tournaments. They were $200,000 no entry fee.
Wow.
They paid half the field. So here's the deal. I finished second. Scott Rook 1-1 at Little Rock, and I finished second, 8 ounces behind him. He got $200,000, and I got $36,000.
There's a little spread there, but
yeah, was kind of a little stingy a little bit.
But how'd you feel after 2006? When that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first year of the Elite Series, and I mean, it was so 2006 honestly was kind of like, I guess would have been 2019. There were also a group of anglers that left when the Elite Series was created in 2006.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, that's true. Now that I think about it, good point, Greg.
We had a little bit of a split deal. A bunch of guys went to FLW, that were household names at Bass that same year.
Yeah, like I totally knew that happened, but it was kind of like a little blockage. You know what I mean? A little blinder.
Yeah, but I was excited. I was still, because like I said, my rookie season at Bass was 2004. And things were going good because I started off fishing FLW, and then I didn't switch to Bass, but I started, qualified for the tour level and started doing them both. And, I was young and I enjoyed, I was fishing every week. I enjoyed fishing both tours, fishing every week. And then the Elite Series came along, and I liked it because it was going to be so many events. And that's kind of the reason I was fishing both tours, so like we had 16, 17 events, whatever it was, counting the Classic, 11. Yeah. So it would have been 11, 15, 16, actually 17 events counting the Classic. Wow. So, a young up and comer bass fisherman like myself, it hit me just right. Things were good. The economy was good then, and money was flowing. And in my mind, I was like, wow, I nailed it. It was the best time. I just felt like my career started at probably one of the best, like honestly, as good as far as financially, probably one of the most lucrative times in bass fishing is when I became a professional bass fisherman. I kind of hit the nail on the head.
Perfect timing. And in 2006, was a magical year. I mean, you got in the game a few years before that, and then 2006, it was just bass magic everywhere. You know what I mean?
It was incredible.
Yeah, and like those, I still don't understand these. I want you to refresh my memory on these majors. So you had Legends. Was there Legends Fishing in the Legends Derb?
No, they just named each one of them.
Oh, gotcha.
Like they were just naming the event. That was the reason. Like each major had a different name. Oh. Name recognition, significance of the name is the reason it was.
I get it. I thought Jimmy Houston was out there throwing a spinner bug with you.
No, so the deal was it was a points deal over, I think it was a 3-year, either a 2 or 3 year points deal. Top 50 in the points for 2 years was how you qualified for it.
Aha.
Uh-huh. So that first year in the Elite 50s, how I got in the deal was I was Rookie of the Year. So even though I didn't have enough years, which was kind of a bad deal because in 2004, I was Rookie of the Year. So in 05, I got to do the Elite 50s. Well, then 1 year I had to stay out, even though I was high in the points because I didn't have enough years. So I missed 1 year of it. Maybe that was the second Elite 50s. I did 1 year of the Elite 50s, and then the second year I couldn't because I hadn't been there long enough.
Huh, interesting.
And then after that, I made them every time, but I can't remember what the deal was, but here was the deal. It actually turned out it wasn't a bad deal because I got paid to go to a couple of them and do seminars.
Yeah, sure.
It was still they got like that. It's funny. I got to do a seminar for Cialis at Dardanelle, Russellville.
Oh yeah, for Cialis?
Yeah, for Cialis. So I mean, it was in the Cialis booth. They were a big sponsor at the time. That was during a period of time that Bass had a lot of non-endemic sponsors. Gotcha. There were a lot of non-endemics in the industry then.
So were you impressing the crowd from the booth? After you were showing how was the crowd impressed? Was there oohs and ahs?
I never had the opportunity to use any of the product.
I thought you were giving seminars on the product.
No, I was just there talking about bass fishing.
Oh, gotcha. So no correlation between fishing hard, like driven and strong. Like being a fierce competitor. And
no. It was just straight bass fishing.
Got it. I get it.
But I just funny because I just remember them paying me to come and do a seminar at their booth, and
And you're like, dang straight I am. I'll be there. But I mean, hey, that's it, dude. Like history, 2006.
So here's another little bit of history about that same deal. It's funny how things triggered your mind and you remember.
Yeah.
So on the way there, I got a speeding ticket between Conway and Russellville on the way there. Going to work at the Cialis booth.
You better tell Julie to pay that, okay? You don't want to get.
Hoping it's been paid by now or lock me up.
Old Buford T. Pusser gonna pull you over. Oh man,
Working in Arkansas.
Yeah, breaking some Hackney headlights. Which that is an awful fancy truck. Be breaking that. Academy Sports. Man, I mean, again, it's gotta. What's the closest you ever been to winning a classic? The closest you ever been, or the best place?
Maybe fifth.
Fifth place
at Hart. Yeah, Hartwell's the first time we went to Hartwell was the one that Alton Jones won.
Oh yeah, the jig one. Yeah. What were you doing?
I caught most of them cranking in that deal up a river, up one of those.
Gotcha. You got a little.
Yeah, that's the only time we've been there. The lake was like 20 foot low. It's crazy. It's never looked like that since.
Huh.
Like it was actually hard to get around in places because there was so much timber, and then every time we've been there since, it's been a lot higher, but it was a phenomenal. It was the fishing. I say that the fishing was as good. That was in 08. So the fishing was as good there then as it is now. The lake has stayed really the same from 2008 till 2022.
Huh. Was that the year Takahiro was by the island too? Fishing like a spin pole?
I don't know. That was the one that Aaron Martins was catching off the same road. Now that was a different one.
Okay.
So was Aaron Martins caught him off of that same road bed that year that Takahiro caught him off of. So I think the one Takahiro caught him in off the road bed was the one that Casey Ashley won.
Gotcha.
But it was the same road. It was the same one that Aaron caught 50 a day off of that first time we were there.
So that was Aaron's spot first. Cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, it was. Aaron caught like 50 a day off that deal, drop shot during that classic.
Wow.
So Bobby did really well in that one. He was shad wrapping and something else up one of the rivers. And that was the one that Charlie Hartley led. Yeah, that was the first time we were there, and Charlie led the first 2 days.
But yeah, with the docks, the jig by the docks.
Yeah, 4 or 5 boat docks with the jig.
Yeah, that push. Yep.
Didn't catch them the last day. Yeah, Van Dam caught a big sack the first day. They ran current. The first day of that deal, they ran a lot of current, and fishing was phenomenal because the first day I was like, I don't know, 7th or 8th with like 17 pounds, and there were like 4 bags over 20. And a bunch of guys went way up that river that runs to that other, comes from that other lake, and they were running current. They caught a bunch of big bags up there, and then they shut the water off, and that ended it because Van Dam caught 20 pounds down the lake out of school the first day, and then that never caught another fish down there the rest of the week. Now he caught some fish up the river, but he never caught another fish down the lake. And I think, like, looking back on that deal, that was all a current deal. Those shallow fish they just pulled a lot of water. I mean, I can just remember pulling up on my first place and seeing the current run around a point,
Yeah. And dude, like that's and a couple lessons that I learned from that classic is Rick Clunn was saying something. I can't remember where it was, and God forgive me, I can't remember if he was in that classic or not, or commentating or talking or something, but current is the great neutralizer. I learned that from Rick Clunn at that derb. Also, Charlie Hartley taught us that make sure your jig is on the bottom. When you think it's on the bottom, it's probably not on the bottom. That's what Charlie told us. That's my dumb mind.
And I remember him calling himself Disappearing Charlie. I love Charlie to death, but I do remember seeing that during the tournament.
Oh, man. Magical times. 2006, especially, the first year of the elites. And you won one. Pretty cool, Greg.
Yeah, a big deal. And I broke a 10-pounder off on the first one. I won the first 2 back-to-back.
Oh, Lord.
Ish won the first one. I finished third. I got smoked on a top water bait, 10-pounder right at the boat and broke my line. I'll never forget that. I couldn't turn it. I couldn't do nothing with it. 20 pounds. Popped it right off.
Oh man. I mean, and amazing right out of the gate. And then what was Rayburn? Was that the Senko? Were you on a Senko at Rayburn?
Yeah. I caught him on an Ocho.
Yeah, no Ocho. You know what I mean. Yeah.
Actually, zero.
The zero at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
And we also learned from you that make sure that your braid does not sneak through the eye of the hook. From a previous tournament, you lost because of that. Yeah, you lost that dirt.
Bit of trivia. I fished that tree for the first time this year when we were at Santee and got bit on.
Really?
Yeah, I shook a fish off on it in it's the same time of the year, you know, those fish spawn in the same places. But when I got to it, I was like that. I didn't get bit off of it during the tournament. I actually fished it the first day, but I did get bit off of it at, I think, the first afternoon of practice.
That's pretty magic, dude. That's pretty cool. You're like, yeah.
I'll be honest. If there was any place that we go to and travel around the country and go to where I think I could move and be happy fishing there every day, I could be happy fishing there every day.
At Santee.
Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal. I get jacked up. I'll tell you this, I've been there 4 or 5 times. I've never finished out of the top 10. And I think the deal with it is it's just because I love it so much.
Yeah, and you were keying in.
First ever start, I finished 5th and never start there. I don't know, a long time. Like when I was starting it was the year I won the points in the Eastern Ever Starts and made the FLWs. And I can't remember, that was my first time there. And I've been infatuated with it ever since. Because it's so much like where I grew up. It fishes the same way and it's got giant bass. And every time you swing the hammer, it can be a 10-pounder or at least at 8.
Yeah.
And it's as good now as it's ever been.
And you're always violating the cypress knees.
Yeah, they just live on those trees there, you know. I really like. I'll tell you this. I really like. I was so jealous the year that they fished there in the fall. I would love to have fished it in the fall. And I watched it. I watched all the Bassmaster live that year. You know, when I was still tinkering around the dark side.
Hey, you're a MILF champion. Hasselhoff's not.
Yeah.
It's a world champion. Hey, so on them cypress knees, bud, is it like always? Is the deal like you should have a little hard bank close by usually instead of those expansive forests? Are shorter little cypress forests with hard bank always better?
No, not necessarily. But the deal is there'll be something about the bottom that makes those fish pick which groups of trees they're in. If that makes sense. Like, it could be a huge group of trees and they all look alike. And when you get bit off of one, chances are everything will be in a small radius of where that bite came from. You never get, about the only time you ever catch isolated fish off cypress trees is when they get on single trees or they get on more isolated trees and you can just run isolated ones. Typically in a group, it's something about the bottom, you know, whether it's a patch of shell on the bottom or, you know, maybe the way the roots grow. So not all cypress trees are the same. Some have knees, some have roots that look like hair. You know, they're all different, if that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, I've seen all of them.
It's never random. Just let me tell you, you'll never catch a fish off a cypress tree and it's random. It's just like anything else. There's a certain reason that fish is there. And more times than not, it's something about the bottom, like what so the whole deal was they were spawning on trees, shallow trees this time, but it was on a certain really hard bottom. And a lot of times there'll be, especially on that lake, there's a lot of shell. Like there's a lot of mussel beds, and those mussel beds will be in those trees, you know, and those are the places. Because, I mean, when the water's clear, you can see it. You'll see the shell, you know, laying on the bottom.
Is that the same for deep grass? Is that what, like, you know, when you'll find those
more times, it's hard bottom in that grass. You know, milfoil, coontail both will grow in soft bottom sometimes. And there'll be some rock, especially like anytime you're up north, it's typically always about rock. You know, it's a patch of rock in that grass. Something about the bottom's different. You know, I was thinking about that. There's that, the Open is starting tomorrow at Oneida.
Yep.
find the right grass there, flipping grass, you'll catch both. But it's going to be some rock. If you go, like, you can catch largemouth there out of grass that doesn't have rock. But when you find the rock in the grass, you'll catch both. Like, you'll flip up a 4-pound smallmouth and a 4-pound largemouth on back-to-back flips.
Country and Western right there.
Yeah, that's one of the first places I ever done that was at Oneida. Was catching them both.
Damn.
And it always, like, the largemouth will be the dominant fish in the grass as far as the number. But typically when you catch a smallmouth flipping grass, when they're mixed, they're always big ones. I mean, they'll always be like 4-pounders, you know.
That's pretty awesome.
Hit it, you know, he's fixing to go with, you got 20 foot of line out and he'll be 10 foot high in front of you right after you stick it. good.
On the 8-foot stick. Oh goodness. Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yikes. So it's always bottom. It's bottom. It's not the
bottom more times than not. I mean, you know, there's certain situations where it can be mixed in vegetation. You know, when it can be like I caught them at Lake Washita, Arkansas. There was miles of hydrilla that was deep. It was growing out like 22 or 23, but there were isolated patches of coontail that were 25, and that's where all the fish were. And it was wherever you would find a hydrilla line that had the coontail. I never caught one out of hydrilla. They were always in those patches of coontail that were growing outside the hydrilla. Kind of same deal at Cayuga. It was there were rock in the grass, but the fish were not relating to the milfoil. I mean, I caught some flipping milfoil there, but the majority of them were in cabbage that were growing out on rock outside the milfoil. The milfoil was only growing out to like 12 feet, and that cabbage was growing from like 17 to 22, but there was rock on the bottom.
Real? You know, so they were into cabbage?
Yeah, they were into cabbage.
I hate that cabbage. Usually that's just all pike crap.
You know, it's a funny thing in that I would come back up to that was, you know, middle ways of the lake or whatever. I never caught a pike the entire event in the area that I won in. Now I could come up north with that big flat where the majority of everybody was fishing at and literally get 15 pickerel bites to every but in the part of the lake that I fished in, I never caught one all week. Never caught one in practice. It was weird. I don't know why.
Good.
But it was all, you know, nothing else.
You, what do you think of those shoe picks, those mudfish? Like, are you freaked out by them, or they don't bother you?
No, they don't bother me. So here, this is a funny deal. Like, so I thought that was a southern fish until the first time I went to Champlain. And I was like, oh my gosh, they got world-class shoe pick fishing at Champlain, you know. Like I didn't realize, I thought they, muddy water, you know, mud bottom fish, and they're everywhere. Like, I don't know if they're not more, I don't know. We got millions of them here, you know, but there's a lot of them up north, you know. They just met, you know, I don't mind. I mean, I like to sight fish for them when I'm practicing. I hate them during the tournament.
Yeah, you ever...
Like Bad Mojo follows them around, because I have had them before to kind of jack up a day. It seems like they can get you off on the wrong foot. You know what I mean? Go direction.
Yeah, or you get that, that jackhammer or your Strike King jig or bladed jig all going all sweet and everything, and then it destroyed.
Yeah. You're pretty much better off most of the time now. When I catch one, I just cut the line because they pretty messed up the hook point, or you know what I mean? Like their head is solid bone, so they just typically jack up whatever they get a hold of.
What hook are you on these days? Still that same Hack Attack straight shanker?
So pretty much on braid, I'm straight Hack Attack hook anytime I'm flipping braid. I'll go to a little lighter wire, still a strong hook. I experiment with several. Most of the time when I'm flipping fluorocarbon, I'd use an owner jungle flipping hook. Gotcha. Is the hook I like best. And, I see they come out with a new hook. I don't know what it's called. It's like an offset hook that has the bend of a round bend, like a straight shank.
Huh.
I've heard good things about it. I've not used one, but typically, strictly braid. I'm only a Hack Attack hook, just because you never roll the hook point on it. And if I try to flip that jungle flipping hook with braid, I'm going to flex it. Like, you still might catch the fish, but I'll have to cut it off and tie on a new one because I'm going to open it up. and you'll roll the hook points on those other hooks. And that Hack Attack flipping hook, I can, I catch 100 on the same hook, and the hook will be just as sharp as it was when I started.
Nice. What's the size you put in that rodent? What size you putting in that rodent? That straight shank?
Always a 6/0 in the rodent.
The 6/0?
Yeah,
really?
I put it in there because of the length of the bait. If you so here's the deal. Our hooks are 4, 5, and 6. So our 5 has a big enough bite, but to me it's too short. The hook shank is too short. It fits a rage bug perfect. The 5/0 is perfect because I like for my hook point to go to the end of the meat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I put that 6/0 in there on the rodent. It's all the way at the bottom, right before the split. And
gotcha.
And there's no, because of that hook has such a big bite, there's no chance of that bait wadding up on the hook.
All right.
So here's the deal. As far as beaver style baits go, a rodent is slightly bigger than everybody else's.
Interesting.
It's a bigger piece of plastic. So the 6 fits it better. Now, with that being said, if I was flipping a rodent on fluorocarbon, I use the 5/0 jungle hook. And the reason for that, a 5/0 jungle hook, the shank is the exact same length as the 6/0 Hack Attack. It's all about the length of the shaft of the hook is the reason.
I'm
it's
with
not
you.
about the bite.
I'm with you.
So typically for me, if I downsize, I flip a menace, I use a 4/0 Hack Attack, or if I'm using a baby rodent, I use a 4/0 Hack Attack. It's just a perfect fit. And I mean, I'll do that. I'll use a baby rodent with 1.5 ounces or 1 3/4 ounce and put that 4/0 in there because it just fits that bait. I'm just like, I don't have OCD or anything, but some things everything has to be exactly right. Like the hook has to fit the bait. Like if I rig one up and it don't look right, we don't use it.
No, I get it. Yeah, hey, that's the naturalness coming out. You know what I mean? That's the naturalness of the fisherman. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect.
It's just where there's just like a certain point on the bait where I want the hook point to go in at, and that's the reason for how I picked the size of the hook I used.
Are you with owner? Are you owner?
I am not. No.
Gotcha.
No.
What were you saying? I'm sorry. You were.
Well, so here's the deal. I've used Gamakatsu's. I had an issue with them that wire keeper that they put on theirs. I had some issues with it spinning. Maybe they fixed that. I don't know. I've got to use it. I like that owner because it has that, like when I'm flipping fluorocarbon, it has a monofilament keeper.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. The owner's got the mono keeper.
Yeah, it's got the mono keeper, and I like that,
Okay.
And I have good luck, I mean, I've lost some fish on. I've lost fish on everything, but all in all, I have good luck with that hook.
What are you pegging with the old fashions, or are you using the stops?
Yeah, no, I'll never be a big fan of the stops. I like the peg.
What's the deal? Brower was just telling me the same thing. Why is it though?
The deal is I've had weird breakoffs on braid with using a bobber stop, and I think there's a chance that tungsten is so hard that under the right pressure and the right scenario, it could cut your line. And by putting that rubber peg in it, my bait is always, I feel like it's like a shock absorber in that weight.
Okay. Same with fluoro?
Yeah. Same with fluoro.
All right, gotcha. Yeah. So you're all.
And here's, I can, so, they make several different pegs, and I can, like, if I'm flipping a big weight, I can adjust that peg in that weight to how I want the weight to slip up and down the line. If I want it to slip easy, I won't pull it down in there as far before I flip it. Because they make a big one. I use Peggets. That's what I use.
Gotcha.
And they make a Magnum one, and I can, if I want the weight to be tight or if I want it to slide, I can adjust it. And then the other thing is I feel like it keeps that weight from when I'm punching mats from, being so hard on my bait. Because there's the other deal. Strike King plastics are the softest. I mean, our tour grade plastic is so soft, which I really liked. But when you're punching in that mat, especially with like 1.5 ounces or 1.25 ounces, 3/8, whatever, I like having that tension of that weight. And there's no, that weight never touches. Like I pull it down there to where it almost touches the plastic.
Uh-huh.
But it's there's no chance of it going down there and messing up my bait when I'm going in and out, in and out, in and out. And I got that little bit of gap. So when he gets it, I just feel like after I've snelled the hook, that weight pops down there and seals the gap, and then that hook pops up. Gotcha. I don't know. So last year at Writers Conference, Jared McMillan picked, the Florida boys, they big time flippers. He picks it up and he can't believe you old school pegging your weight. And I'm thinking, talk me into changing them. I'm all open for making changes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If somebody could prove to me that the bobber stop was better, I'd change. But I don't think they can do it.
All right.
I mean, I flip a lot. A lot of I learned from trial and error more than anything. And forever we used the toothpick. I never had any issues with that.
Exactly.
But there's just a couple reasons. Again, it kind of goes back to that hard weight, and I think a shock absorber on my line, and then the other deal of not knocking my plastic off. When you're sure enough, like when I'm throwing that bait up in the air, to get it to go through a mat. I mean, if that weight is not, what I mean. If that bobber stops on the front, that weight's pushing down on the back of that weight. I mean, you know what I mean? That weight's going to push my bait off the hook. And I don't know. Like I said, we use soft plastics, and I think it just makes my baits last longer.
Makes total sense. Yeah, I've been flipping that creature hog deal. It's real soft as well, and I think that'll help me. I've been taking your advice and Brower's and using the old fashioned pegs, but I think I'm pushing it down on there too much.
So on that big weight, I use that it's called a jumbo peg, and how hard you pull it down in there is how stiff your weight is. Now you don't really have that option on like using and now they make some little fine ones that I really like when I'm flipping fluorocarbon, and fishing a smaller weight that are just real. They just seal on the bait good. I don't know. It's done now that I asked Jared, I was like, I'm for changing if you can, you know what I mean? If you can give me a but I just had some bad experiences with a bobber stop. And here's the other thing. I hear a bunch of guys talk about, I must have been a pike I broke off her. And I'm like, was it?
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I had some weird break-offs on fluorocarbon and on braid, using a bobber stop. And I'm like, I don't have time to pull that thing on the line.
What's your knot with fluorocarbon?
I tie Palomar. I use gamma fluorocarbon, so Palomar knot's 100%. So I've been, again, it's one of those deals. Now I have experimented with other knots with other fluorocarbons, and I will tell you that depending on what fluorocarbon you use, I'm not going to tell you if you cannot tie a Palomar perfectly, you probably best be tying another knot. But when it's tied perfectly, and because Van Dam and I have had this same discussion because he ties a Palomar, and the whole deal is not to get the lines crossed when you pull it tight because it will burn fluorocarbon.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't recommend it if a guy if he's not 100% sure that he can tie a Palomar perfectly, I'd say don't tie.
My gosh, I did not think you tied a Palomar with your flip.
I don't know, 10, 11, 12. And I just still tie it,
What about with your plugs? Same thing with plugs and fluoro?
Yeah, I can just tie it so fast that I just don't have time to tie that other knot. I can't slow down enough to tie it.
Okay. Wow, cool thing.
Here's the deal. On a Palomar knot, always start with the line doubled. You'll have a lot better chance of having the line doubled when it goes through the eye of not burning the line. When I see a guy run the line through and then turn around and run it back through to double it, I'm like, now we're going to have a problem.
Oh, wow. Even on the spin pole?
As in?
Like the light line. Like, how sometimes.
Again, dude, I'm just telling you, I've used Gamma Edge now for the last, 10 or 12 years. I tie Palomar on 6. So I'm fixing to do a bunch of spinning pole fishing the next few days. And there'll be a Palomar knot tied on everything other than where my braid is attached to my leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Don't have any I don't have any issue. You know, I don't know. Every time I tell somebody, it's like, oh my God, you know, and I'm like, whatever. I don't. And here's the deal. And I'm not trying to talk anybody into using it because I don't care what they use.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I get it.
It just whatever works for you, you know. But I wouldn't recommend the Palomar knot unless you're 100% sure that you don't cross those lines, because that is what burns it on fluoro. If those two lines are across one another, it will weaken the fluorocarbon.
So
It's like it was a lot easier to tie on monofilament, you know. But I've tied it so much, and I have a deal. I can't really explain it because I can do it with my eyes closed, but I just have a way of putting my finger through there to make sure those lines never get crossed.
Gotcha. Hey, do an Instagram video on that for us, would you?
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, but it is. I've stayed with a couple guys and showed them, and they were like, you know, now these guys are good, you know, really good fishermen, and I know now they tie Palomar because of that.
Gotcha.
Because they saw.
Well, thanks for giving that away. Let's get real sneaky now. Okay, let's get super Greg Hackney sneak type stuff. And like will you be completely honest? You promise to be 100% honest.
You know, the good thing that's about my personality, you can't tell if I'm lying or not. So.
Get in the boat with Daddy Rabbit. Mr. Cialis, I like your style. Hey, all right. So, man, I was watching you on this derb in Florida once, and you're throwing a wood top water plug around some fish around some docks back in a canal or something. Can't remember what Florida derb it was. And it's a wood plug. Wait, what's that plug?
It was a mimic.
A mimic. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy's still in business or what? But he probably copied it after one of those North Carolina prop baits.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I use them now. So I got about 10. You know, so much of that stuff is niche. It's not like something I got tied on every derby. You don't go through a lot of them. I still got about 10 of them left. But it was a cool deal because it's a wire runs all the way through. It's wood plug balsa. Wire runs all the way through it. You know what I mean? Like the line tie and the hook tie on the back are on the same. Everything's connected. So the bait spins on that wire. Never twist.
Oh.
So that is when you throw it out there, if that bait won't torque and cause those blades to jump around the line.
Interesting.
That's the whole deal with that. So those prop baits that are made that don't spin like that, you'll end up a lot of times with that when you pull them of that front prop jumping and wrapping your line.
Gotcha.
And by that, so that bait spins on that wire all the way through it, it really eliminates that because that bait never torques. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the bait
I do.
rolls over. The bait's flopping back and forth, left or right when you pull it, so it never torques that bait and causes it to jump over your line. Now, I mean, occasionally it happens or whatever,
but the mimic
really comes down. Yeah, it was mimic lures.
Ginge, get us some of those. Write that down. Mimics.
Yeah,
hey.
he made square bills, and he was the guy who made when Strike King had the wooden flat side.
Yeah, that bait was awesome. And the Shad Wrap one?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, he made baits back in the day when, Strike King had some custom built stuff.
That's right. Bait. Now I remember. What's that cat's name?
His name was Kelly. I don't know what his last name was, but he was Mimic.
Yeah, Mimic. Dude, and that shad one that you guys had at Strike King that was like a Shad Wrap knockoff? Yikes, that was really good. Remember it? It was out the same time as the flat one.
But we don't have that. It's a Lucky Shad. We still make that bait.
No, this one was wood, bud. I
don't remember it. Our plastic Shad Wrap imitation, that Lucky Shad, you can throw on a bait caster, and it's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Only thing he made that the wooden bait he made a flat side. I can't remember. It was called a Stealth Shad or something. I can't remember what the name was.
KVD used it in the Classic. Remember, it was his first. It was his.
Rose won the FLW at Gunner's on it. A few years ago, 4 or 5. I don't know. Time these tournaments all right. There's been so many of them now that.
Hey, bud, I'm gonna bring you some of them Shad Wrap wood ones. Okay, they were out at the same time.
Yeah, I don't remember that bait. I don't know why.
It was a Strike King, man, in the yellow thing. You know who's got a ton of them? Bill McDonald. Yeah, he's got a bunch of the flat wood ones too. Go break in his garage, Billy Mack.
Oh, I'm still holding on the flat sides, but I just don't know that shad rat bait.
I'm gonna bring you some.
But if you get a chance to throw our plastic one, that Lucky Shad, it is really a good bait.
You like it?
Number 4 KVDs on it, and it'll suspend.
Oh, look at you! Look at you!
It's pretty sexy in some cold water.
Hey, was the Mimic? Is that are you throwing that sneaky square bill, the wood one? Is that a Mimic too? What is that sneaky square bill?
I don't know.
The wood one. Oh, come on! You know.
I can't even remember where I got those things.
You're something else.
They were hand-me-downs, I think.
Oh, someone. Yeah. Okay. You don't want to tell us. You don't want to say.
Might have been the same guy made those things.
Okay. All right. What's the favorite color in those cypress knees?
You know, either pearl with a chartreuse back or chartreuse and black are hard to beat.
Pearl.
But I'm man that. So when I was growing up as a youngster, that pearl with a chartreuse, I've caught one or two off that pearl with a chartreuse back out in that green water around the cypress trees. That's the reason when I saw that, you know, when they fished at Santee in the fall, there was a lot of that green water.
Yeah.
Around those. I've always been a big fan of that.
Pearl with chartreuse in the green water. I love it, dude. I like what you're saying.
Lows. Something about that. I don't know that. So pearl is different from white. If you know what I mean. Like it's a lot more shine, you know, just a lot more iridescent. I don't know, but it just, and in that green water, it would make that bait look like it's glowing, almost like a light around it. I don't know. That used to be how I picked my crankbait colors. I still do to some extent. If they, you know, those baits just have to have real natural look to them. If I can look at it and see the scale pattern on it or whatever, I just never liked the way it looked.
Wow.
I like to almost be blurry, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you crank it up, you know, to have that blurry look.
Like a quick brim or shad.
Yeah, like when it has that blurry look, you know, I feel like I'm close. I got the right color, you know, when it looks like that and doesn't stand out.
Are these B2 size or B3 or B1? Balsa B?
2s and 3s.
2s and 3s, the bigger size you like.
Yeah. I don't ever hardly throw one any smaller than a 2. So the deal is that 2 is like that from 1 foot of water to 3 foot, and then that 3 is more 2 to 5.
What's the string? What kind of string are you using on that?
Either 16 or 20, depending.
Fluoro?
I'm trying to. Fluoro.
Okay.
About the only time I crank with mono is when you get hung a lot. You know what I mean? If you're getting hung a lot, you won't get hung as much using mono. Mono's softer and you don't react as quick like you do on fluoro. And here's the other deal. Typically, when I switch to mono, it's not like I'm making long casts. You're still catching those fish point blank. It's about like flipping. You know, every bite is from 5 foot from the boat to 25 foot from the boat at the farthest. You know, you're target fishing with that stuff. But that works on a 1.5 or 2.5 too, because anytime you're around wood and you getting hung a lot and you feel like it's costing you bites, you can switch back to mono. Same rod. You don't have to change anything. You know, I caught millions of fish on monofilament with hooks that I'd sharpened with a file. You know, I never sharpened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have any trouble catching them on, and now I'm using better equipment. I have a better rod, a better reel, and sharper hooks than we've ever used before. So I don't have any trouble. And I tell you, this is something you'll find because I do this on spinnerbait. I throw spinnerbait on monofilament a lot, especially when I'm up close. You look at how the fish is hooked. You'll hook them so much better on monofilament a lot of times than you will fluoro anyway, fishing close, because you don't react. You're giving that fish a chance to eat that lure before you react. Now, again, the only time I do that is when I'm fishing shallow and fishing close, but I do that a lot. Now, I'll tell you this, a lot of times on a bladed jig, if I had trouble catching them, I tie that sucker on 20-pound mono and catch every one of them.
And you're on the glass rod still with all that?
No, I don't. See, that's the deal. I'm not a big fan of the glass rod on the bladed jig.
Really?
Basically just use the same rod I spinnerbait with, which is kind of a parabolic medium heavy. It's got a lot of rod. You know what I mean? Like It's not stiff, and it's not fast. I don't like a fast rod for doing it. But I if I run into a situation where I can't stick them on fluoro, like I said, I just tie it on 20-pound mono and catch every one of them because they'll eat it. Because by the time you feel him, he's eat the bait. You're not reacting so quick. That's the only reason on a bladed jig people have to go to a glass rod. They're reacting too quick. If you got patience, I think you can buy without it.
Yeah, I throw the bladed jig on the same bait that you and I use for throwing plugs on. Same blank.
Well, a lot of people do that, but I think that's the whole deal. That just slows you down because that fluorocarbon is so sensitive. You'll just feel that fish so much quicker. But see, with that crankbait rod, you don't feel him as quick, so he gets it better. So it's kind of that same deal. So if I run into that situation, like I said, I just put some monofilament on there and catch them. Gotcha. Monofilament is cheap. You know, $6, 600 yards. I mean, you know what? I mean, so I change it every day, but I've caught a lot of fish with a bladed jig on monofilament.
You're a line changer? You're changing every day of a derb?
It depends. Yeah, if I'm winding. So typically the rods that I do change every day will be my cranking stuff, winding, because that line's getting burned a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's fluorocarbon too. And I don't care whose it is. You need to keep it sprayed. That's the life of your fluorocarbon, is spraying it. I use Real Magic, but some type of line dressing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We use line and lure here.
Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same concept. So the whole deal is just to keep it from burning. You know, burning in it. That fluorocarbon's hard, because you put it on the reel and it's slick and pretty and clear. You crank with it all day. If you don't dress it, it'll be white and cloudy that afternoon.
Yeah,
because you burn in and out, in and out of the guide. So that putting some line dressing on it really makes it last longer.
When do you treat it? As you spool?
Yeah. So typically what I do is I spray the spool before I reel it on the reel. Because I always pull my reels out of the box or whatever, you know what I mean? Just put the line in the box and I pull off a bolt spools, and I'll spray it then. And then once I get it on there, I always spray it, because I know this. You spray it on there the night before, a good coating of it, and then that gives it a chance to dry. So the next day it stays on there longer. When you're spraying it during the day, in a perfect world, I'll spray it before I move, after I've cranked a while, if I remember, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of times during the Derby, it's hard for me to shut down to do anything but fish, but it's to spray a little bit when you're moving. And, the other deal is it's great when it's cold and guides are icing up. It does help, but it seems like the light, especially like on that spinning rod. Now I spray my braid and everything because I want everything slick. But like that light line on your spinning rod, it just seems like it makes everything work better. You don't get as many backlashes. If you do, it seems like that you get them out easier. And it helps all in all.
Try some line and lure if you would, because they're going out of business. Like I'm just being real about it. Like some of those big corporate stores are making their own now, and they're not purchasing line and lure anymore. So we need. Yeah, it's good stuff. It works too. Uncle Kevy used to use it. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It works. That's my sneak. Hey, are you a dock guy? I
like piers.
Piers? What do you mean?
Well, docks. I like the ones with piers. I don't like the floating docks.
Oh, okay. All right. So I thought you were meant the piers are usually the ones with the good restaurants and bars you pull up to.
That ain't a bad deal either. Yeah. The scene now, like saltwater fishing, is really good around those piers.
Yeah. Is that where the Goliath groupers were?
Yeah, they were on some piers.
The big girls.
That was a best, dude. I'm not lying to you. Like that, like it's what's so crazy about it is when you drop in there, there's one side of you that's hoping you don't get a bite.
Because it's going to work you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had 400-pound test broke 3 times.
What?
So we used straight 400-pound mono, which is big as my pinky, and I would have them on strip and drag, and they would go back through those piers and break the line. What? No turn on.
Were you hurting? Did it hurt you?
Oh, it does. I had hematomas the next day.
Oh, that's not funny, but
I'm just telling you, it's insane. Like it's really like, so my first bite was on a Jack Crevalle that was alive that weighed 10 pounds. Okay. That's what we used. We used 10-pound bait for. I never got it out.
6 Architect.
Yeah. 21 alt circle hook.
Wow.
20 alt. Like literally that big around. 3 pounds of lead. And the fish is only like 20 foot deep. When I drop down there, he bites it. Feels like a jig bite, just it's not like anything crazy. Like they don't bite crazy. They move real slow. Like it's just, I'm like, there he is. I look back at Kobe and go, I got a bite. He's like, get him. And I feel, and he comes off and he goes, just drop it back down there. He'll get it again. And I thumb the reel and let it go back down there. And when he gets it, no stopping him. No stop. Like I couldn't turn the reel handles. Like the ones I end up catching, I'd be standing on the back of the boat when they get it. And I'd run to the front and drag them with my body to get them coming. And then he would take the motor and pull them out. And then I'd fight them out in open water. And they were just 150 pounders. But it's insane, dude. They look like a giant largemouth. I mean, it's what they look like. They live like a big largemouth. They just sit down there.
Jeez, that's nuts, dude. I mean, that's a workout.
So it was, but that was a bucket list deal. You know, it was my son's senior trip, Luke. But I probably enjoyed it as much or more as he did.
So that's like 150-pound fish. What do you weigh these days? You're in pretty damn good shape these days. You dropped a lot of lbs.
Not that much. I still probably outweighed that fish a pound or two.
Well, I mean, I know you ain't $150, but you're probably like $175, 85.
That's probably a little more than that. I do a good job of hiding it.
I don't know. You dropped some pounds. You're going to tell me you haven't?
But not everybody thinks, like, literally it was like 10 or 15 pounds. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess I just didn't carry my weight well.
You were a little beefier.
Yeah, I was a little beefier. I was probably enjoying life a little too much. You know what I mean?
That good bass in life.
Playground.
The old playground. Thick. But what'd you do? You work out a little bit? Did you eat better? What'd you do?
No, better. I did like last year. I did a bunch of biking. This year I've not done much because like during between the tournaments last year, I come home and bike every day, and this time I came home and I fished every day.
All right.
So I tried to change, and I'm not saying I hadn't fell off the wagon some, but I have changed my diet. And, I'm not as what's that Toby Keith song? I'm not as good as I once was.
Hey, I'll be honest with you, dude. When we seen you at the Headwater, me and Fighter were like, man, Hackney looks good. He lost some weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and that's the deal. I'm gonna be out there competing against those young bucks. I felt like I needed to do that.
Yeah, you got to be able to boat flip them and grab them faster. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Do you feel powerful when you boat flip a fish? I mean, like you're the best at it. You just really are.
I just feel like that's an efficient deal, and the quicker you get them in, the less chance they are getting off.
Yeah, man.
That's only like and it kind of goes back to that deal of just really getting jacked up. But I'm like, man, the better chances. And I've lost a few boat flip, so I lost 2 big. Like so, the last day at Pickwick, I had 2 big ones come off on a jig. Like I probably had the chance. I lost a big one on a shaky head too, but I lost 2 big ones on a jig that last morning, the third day. Probably should have had the best. I had the worst bag I had all week. Probably should have had the best. Just came off, and both of them, well, one of them, I never had a chance to swing. The second one, I say it was a big one, it's a 4.5 pounder. I cranked down on it. I'm just fixing to swing it and it comes off, but I always feel like sometimes I've had a bunch of them come off in the air when you swing them. But a lot of times their forward momentum, brings them on in the boat. And I feel like, that fish was coming off if I'd have tried to lip it.
Yeah.
Times and not, if I'm going to lose it, boat flipping it, I was going to lose it anyway. Especially with a single hook. That's different with a plug or whatever. But I still
get it.
A lot of them. I caught most of my fish at fork on a plug. Them big ones, of course, I was throwing an 8.0 on 25-pound fluoro. I flipped 6-pounders, never thought use big hooks and big tackle, swing them.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, do you think you use straight braid more than a lot of people do flipping?
I do get that question a lot. Bass fishermen are funny. Like, and I got little idiosyncrasies, things that I got to do or feel like I need to do. And I feel like a lot of guys that straight braid a lot of times messes with their head.
I agree.
But here's my deal. If I was going to flip a leader and let's say I was going to flip 25 fluoro and a leader, well, I would have to use 30 or smaller braid, because in my mind, like, there's no way I can tie 50 or 65 pound braid to 25 pound fluoro. Now, I've been fishing the last couple of weeks tying an 80 or 100 pound leader to 65 pound braid. I don't have a problem doing that, but in my mind, there's just no way I could tie a bigger line to a smaller one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, my leader have to be bigger than my main line is the only way I could do that.
Gotcha. So
like, here's my deal. Why not just use straight 25? Like, that's what I do, because I only have one knot. To me, because I understand it with the spinning rod. And another thing is, a spinning rod doesn't put near as much pressure on your line as a bait caster.
Right.
Well, when you start now, we've got two knots. It's almost like a Carolina rig. You know what I mean? We got all these knots, and I'm like, if I'm going to use fluoro, just use straight fluoro. I think straight fluoro is stronger than it would be if I tied it to braid, because now I got a no stretch line tied to one with stretch. That's a lesser poundage. I don't know. Mentally, I just couldn't do it. And like I said, I just use straight fluoro if I want to use 25 or 20. But I like straight braid. I don't think, like, so many times, I don't think it deters bites. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times I could get by with flipping straight braid, and I'm using fluoro because it changes the rate of fall. You know what I mean? Like, fishing shallow with a 1/4 ounce slip sinker and you put it on 20 pound fluoro, you'll get a totally different fall rate out of that rig than you would if I tied that on 50 pound braid, and it's going to fall straight down and fast.
100%. Yeah, I get that.
For like plinking around at shallow bed and fish, a lot of times I feel like I can get by with a little bigger weight if I use fluorocarbon, which makes me more efficient. But yet the bait still falls slow because that line's got drag to it. And fluorocarbon a lot of times will make the bait spiral. You know what I mean? It won't fall straight down.
I do.
It'll cause the bait to slide, which is a more natural presentation. But in that same situation, if I'm pitching over in something and I want my bait to go straight down, I'll just use the braid. So I just it just depends on the situation. But
yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah. I understand it on the little line. I can't, I can't grasp it on the big line.
Why do you got two flip sticks? Why do you have a braid flip stick and a floral flip stick? Why can't you just use that 7, 11, or 8 footer with the 20 pound floral?
20 on. So I can pitch 25 on that 7-11, but I'm going to break 20.
Really?
It's too much rod.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the other deal is, here's my deal. I want that when I'm fishing a bait, I want that smaller rod because it'll slow me down when I'm crawling it. Okay. So more times than not, when I'm pitching that 7-11, I'm pitching over in something. I fish it straight up and down. So I'm not fishing the bait. The rod's a little stiffer. I'm not fishing it back to me. I'm just fishing straight up and down with it. Where a lot of times with that 7.6, it's a little bit softer. It's more of a heavy to light heavy. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
It's got a tip on it. I cast a worm on it. I do some other stuff with it too. It's a more all-purpose rod, plinking. But I fish my bait a lot on it, And I also can flip 20 on it. Don't worry about breaking it. But I put 20 pound fluoro on that 7-11. It ain't going to work. Because here's the other deal. I could lighten up on my hook set, but how fun would that be?
None at all.
I mean, there's a reason for using the big rod so you can swing it hard.
That's outstanding. Hey, all right. Well, thank you. Like, we're getting to know you. It's good stuff. Hey, you like horror movies?
I do.
Like, what's your deal? Like, what's your horror sci-fi stuff? Like, what do you like?
Yeah. Like, I don't like those movies where the people's head spins. I'm not big on that, or where there's a demon in the attic, like that kind of stuff. I like monster movies where the monsters eating up, like giant crocodiles or Jaws or, The Meg, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's more Predator. You know, those are the movies. But like that mess where they open a box of pictures in the ceiling and, you know, all of a sudden somebody's running across the ceiling with their head spinning. I'm not big on that. I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But that's not,
but you want some Predators type deal.
yeah, I want something that's coming out of the bushes eating everybody up.
Yeah.
You know, that's more.
Are you on Stranger Things? You watch Stranger Things?
I have not watched the new one's fixing to come out.
It's out. Yeah, it's out. It's out.
Yeah, I've not watched. Don't say anything.
I won't.
I've not. Okay.
Yeah, please watch it.
So I will tell you this. I'll tell you one of my favorite shows is Peaky Blinders. Like I binge watch. I've not watched the new episodes yet.
Okay.
But I binge the other. So my sons got me into it. They're like, "Oh yeah, you ought to watch it." So I sat down and watched it, and I was like, I got into it. And the next thing you know, it's 2:00 in the morning. I went through 20 episodes. The whole Netflix deal is horrible.
Yeah.
Because I want to watch everything. Well, I'll just wait till everything comes out and then just sit and watch one after another.
They gotcha.
Yeah. Binge watch everything.
Oh, it's an on-demand society, isn't it?
Yeah.
You a Star Wars freak?
I am.
Who's your guy?
I just watched the last, I guess last night, the last episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, okay. You enjoyed it?
Yeah. I think the ones like the Boba Fett deal and the Obi-Wan Kenobi, like I've watched all those. They're a little on the light side, if that makes sense.
It does. It does.
Yeah, they're not quite as action packed as, you know, like one of the movies.
Yeah, and the movies get darker. Is Obi-Wan Kenobi a little darker? I haven't seen.
No, but it's going back in time and showing when he's protecting Luke when Luke was like 7 or 8 years old, and Leia was 7 or 8 years old, and it's when Anakin became Darth Vader. That's in the time that it's playing.
Gotcha. Now, are you like who's your favorite classic Star Wars character? Like
Han Solo.
Yeah, me too. Like Han Solo is just cool AF. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Like, and even
like the Marlboro Man. You know what I mean? Like back in the day.
Yeah, dude. Like, you know, he's the one going to the disco and pulling in the babes. You know what I mean?
No doubt. He had that flair about it.
Yeah. And like in real life, dude, he is a badass in real life. Do you know that about him?
Yeah, Harrison Ford. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Like he's actually a pilot in real life, and like they've taken numerous planes away from him because he'll just go save random people. And then they're like, you shouldn't be flying in this, and then they take his plane. And he's like, I don't care, I'll buy another one, and he just flies like an outlaw. It's real.
He can afford.
Yeah, it's real. I mean. Dude, he's a badass. Real life. Look it up. Look that stuff up.
So, on a side note, have you seen the latest Top Gun?
No, I haven't.
You need to.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to.
All right.
Yes.
You said on a sad note.
It's a fun movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will see it.
We just so we went on the boat I guess the day before the 4th, and then on the 4th we went to see Jurassic Park. My kids loved it. I like the first one's better. You know how some movies, it's hard for the second or third or whatever to compare to the first one. To me, Jurassic Park was, I liked it. It's hard to surprise me now.
I'm with you there too. Yeah, I think they did what they jumped it. You know, whatever.
Yeah,
it's all good.
I will say the Top Gun movie, I feel like was as good or better than the first one.
Really? So, okay. Yeah, I still have not seen it.
Yeah, you need to.
Thor is out Friday. Thor comes out Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, going to see that one.
I'm kind of a movie buff.
Nice. So I know you told me before you love Alien versus Predator. Like, and those.
We need a. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see there's some type of alien deal coming out on Hulu.
Can't
remember what. like where they were killing, like I don't know if it was a series or a movie, but the Predator was not alien, Predator was working over the American Indians.
Aha.
I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get me a Hulu subscription so I can check that out.
So in Alien versus Predator, are you Alien or Predator?
No, I'm all Predator.
You're all Predator.
So when Arnold Schwarzenegger was after the Predator, I was all Predator.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school Predator. So, like, let's say it was Alien versus Predator in BASS. You're the Predator. Who's the alien out of the Elite Series?
I don't know. I can't say that.
Why not? You're the one that's chirping everybody under your breath.
That's right. Got to keep it under my breath.
You're something else. Well, we knew you'd be the Predator. We know you're a dang bassin' Predator. You snatch.
Yeah, if I could come back as anything, that's what I'd want to come back as, the Predator.
100%. You win every derb. Win every damn derb. And you like Han Solo. I mean, Han Solo's the coolest.
Yeah.
The damn coolest.
I mean, will it be to have, a Wookiee as your sidekick?
Absolutely.
He walks around with a 7 or 8 foot Sasquatch.
Well, you have that. That's Jacob Porosnik. He's like a Wookiee for you. You're like Han Solo.
What character he would be? He would be more maybe Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, goodness gracious. I could just see him eating cans of Spam, and then there's a woman in a gold bikini like Princess Leia.
He's got her own.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Reach that big old paw over and get him a big handful of bullfrogs.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see him dipping in the jar, snatching some bullfrogs.
Cigarette. Same thing.
Oh my goodness, I'm learning a lot about you. I'm going to tell you something about you you don't know. You want to know this?
Okay.
So, there's been a lot of. Well, let me put it this way. What do you think of Mick Jagger?
I like Mick Jagger.
Yeah, I mean he's an iconic rock figure, right?
No.
Yeah, and he said ages ago he couldn't get no satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever feel like Mick? You ever feel like Mick? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I've ever been satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
There's always a burning desire.
Always.
Yeah. In everything I do. Do you relate?
I do relate.
Yeah. So I think he knew what he was saying. But here's what you don't know about you. There's been a lot of famous musicians in history that have written songs about you, Greg Hackney. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mick Jagger was not one of them, but just thought I'd bring that up. But here are some famous lyrics written about you, okay? And you have to tell us what exactly these artists meant when they wrote these lyrics about you, okay? So there's no passing on this. You have to put the thinking cap on, pretend it's day 4 of the Elite Series. All you need is 6 pounds to win. That's all you need. That's all you need. And you got this. Okay? So the first one is which could be your theme song. And that's Godzilla. Okay? By Blue Oyster Cult. Did you know that was written about you?
I did not, but I do know the song.
Yeah. The first line is with a purposeful grimace and a menacing smile. A purposeful grimace and a menacing smile. With a purposeful grimace and a menacing smile. Da-na-na-da-da-da-na-na-da. Greg Hackney. What does that mean?
That would be Russellville, Arkansas, 2004.
Wow. Okay.
Well, it's hard to get that. I kind of, that was one of those deals that just seems like it never goes away.
Yeah. Okay. The old Arkansas deal, 2004.
That's where it was.
Yeah, it all started. It all started there. Purposeful grimace. That's pretty good.
I'd have been overjacked during that deal.
You said what, bud?
I said I might have been a little overjacked.
Yeah. That was a classic. That was a classic one. I mean, it's a historical moment, Greg. Yeah? Yeah. Do you ever wake up in your sleep and scream it?
I do not.
You wake up and what do you scream when you wake up? Nothing about Godzilla?
No,
Never since then.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever said. Maybe today when I said Godzilla is the first time I've said it since.
Dude, it's Bass history. We love it as Bass fans. I don't care. It's like you are so jacked up that, like, dude, it's amazing. Did you see the remix we did on Stray Cast? The Hackney Then and Now? Go watch it. Go watch it on there. It's good.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we did it to Godzilla. You'll like it. Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant. He wrote lyrics about you, too. Said, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. What did he mean? What's that about your life? You know Stairway to Heaven.
I would think that was probably my change in about 2020.
Okay. You made a little, you took the other path.
I took the other path.
Yeah. Worked out pretty good for you so far.
So far, and it's been enjoyable.
But you're not satisfied.
Not satisfied, but it has been enjoyable. I'm very happy about my road that I chose.
This is a good one. This is a good one here. We're happy you're back too, by the way. This is a good one, and you love Pearl Jam. I know that. We learned this. We learned this before about you. This is from the song "Animal." Animal. Eddie Vedder wrote this about you. Are you an animal? It says, "Why would you want to hurt me? So frightened of your pain." What was he writing that about you? Why would you want to hurt me? So frightened of your pain. How does that relate to bass fishing?
Oh, that's just what the bass do to you because they're cold-blooded.
Oh, they perch it, don't they?
They do.
Cold-blooded, cold-hearted. You
They
know?
are cold-blooders.
Yeah, they. No matter what you think you know, you don't know it, do you?
You don't.
It's stupid.
You learn.
Stupid. You ever listen to Jerry Reed?
Not in a long time.
But you remember old Jerry Reed, bud.
Jerry Reed.
Yeah, he had a song. It's called Amos Moses. You know, we remember old Amos Moses. Yeah, hit him on the head with a stump. That's right. And that's the thing. He said he hunted alligators down in the bayou, and he hit him in the head with a stump. How does that relate to you?
Now, that's kind of what I've been doing with the saltwater fishing lately.
Aha!
A lot more blood and gore in the saltwater fishing.
Now, there is a lot more blood and guts.
It is a lot more blood and guts.
Now, this one, I didn't know Cardi B wrote a song about you. This is that WAP song. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would relate to.
Well, I don't know. It says, bring a bucket, mop it up, give me everything you got. Extra large and in charge. That's from WAP, About You, by Cardi B.
Yes, it is.
How's that about you?
Maybe my classic experiences. I don't know.
Okay. Your experience. You're an experienced man. Bring a bucket and mop it up. Hackney's in town. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Oh, Oasis. You told us last time you like Oasis, too. God. Today is going to be the day that I bring it all back to you. What's that bass fishing?
Oh, wow. That's probably me just, like when I'm listening to that, I'm just rolling down the highway.
Rolling down the highway.
Just rolling down the highway.
Just rolling down the highway. But what's the bassin' thoughts? Today is going to be the day that I bring it all back to you. What is that?
Man, I'm hoping day one at the St. Lawrence.
Okay. You're going to bring it all back to us bassin' fans, aren't you?
Back. Yeah, that would be the good.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. You know that Creedence Clearwater band, the John Fogerty. They got that. They got that "Born on the Bayou" song, and it says, "When I was just a little boy, sitting on my daddy's knee, he said, 'Son, don't let that man get you and do what he done to me.'" What's that mean?
It could mean several different things.
What's it mean to you?
Probably, I don't know.
What you got any life lessons? What'd your pa teach you?
I guess I need to stay on the right side of the law.
Okay. I like it. You towed the line a little, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Me too.
I've probably been known to run that line before, just teeter-totter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm...
Yeah.
But I stay on the right side.
Okay, good for you. Good for you.
In recent years, I have stayed on the right side.
Yeah, sometimes it's not as much of a challenge anymore as it used to be to toe the line.
Really not. Now, there might have been a time where I might have, but now it's not I stay on the right side.
I relate. Very good answer, Mr. Hackney. Very good answer. We're learning about you. You're opening up a little bit. Maybe next year when we have you on, you'll open up more. You're breaking down a little in your old age.
Supposedly as you get older, you lose your filter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but now you got a quiet filter. You just whisper obscenities.
Yeah. So I'm like, I probably don't need to get rid of my filter. That would be good.
All right. Speaking of no filter, this is the last exercise in futility for the evening to finally learn about Greg Hackney. And I'm going to give you an angler's name, and you need to say the first thing that pops to your mind. Don't hold back. First thing that pops to your mind about anglers. Ginge, what do you got for us on this one? Oh, I like it. A good old-fashioned little, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg Hackney closing the show with a what pops up kind of deal. We learned he did a Cialis seminar. Lots of things popped up on that one, but this time Greg's going to tell us exactly what pops to his mind when we say these anglers' names. The first angler, Greg, is Mr. Bill Dance, Mr. William Dance.
Face of bass fishing.
The what?
The face of bass fishing.
The face of bass fishing. I love it.
The well-known bass fisherman of all times.
Mr. Bill Dance. 100%.
Yeah.
Ricky Green. Ricky Green
fishing machine. I remember the first one of those. It was a Cajun.
Yeah.
It was a Cajun bass boat. Ricky Green fishing machine.
Heck yeah, bud. He was a badass.
I've not seen him in a long time, but I grew up fishing red mans against Keith Green.
Okay.
His son.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Ricky is passed.
He's passed.
Okay. I had thought so.
Yeah.
Jordan Lee.
Elliot from E.T.
You're amazing. Ricky Clunn.
The greatest of all times.
Greatest of all time. Nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Mark Zona.
Just a hot mess.
Hot freaking mess. 100%.
A hot mess.
KJ Queen.
Guy's got a long boat. The longest boat on the Elite Series.
That's what she said. KJ
That
Queen.
gambler's like 5 foot long. Looks like an antique Cadillac when you see him coming. All he needs is a set of bull horns on the end of it. Like, you see him rolling down in that 35-foot bass boat of his.
That's badass. Corey Johnston.
Like a small wrestler.
A small wrestler.
You know what? It would be great if he would show up at the weigh-ins like those Mexican wrestlers wear that hood.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
He needs.
Yeah.
He needs.
All freaking oiled up in a hood.
I mean, up.
Yes.
Like jumps up on the stage with his mask on.
Yes.
Yes.
That's perfect for Saturday night, Corey. No doubt about it. Good one. Jacob Wheeler.
I mean, honestly, maybe gonna rank up there as top 5 best that's ever played the game.
He catches fish.
Dude, it is what it is. Proof's in the pudding.
Catches fish. Seth Feider.
Cool, man. Like he ought to ride into the weigh-in on a motorcycle.
Love it. He just made his
hair flowing.
Tommy freaking Sanders.
Greatest voice in bass fishing.
Ever.
Smooth. I mean, so smooth.
Ever. Yeah. You're smooth, Hackney. You're smooth AF, bro.
I'm liking the I'm liking the use of the AF. I'm a big fan of that.
Thank you.
Like, I will tell you that, like, Zona keyed me in on that deal, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, we say it on the South Side. It comes from here, like when we want to swear in church. You know,
right?
Yeah, it works well for us. If you know what I'm saying. Hey, you got 3 derbs left. 3 derbs. You're going to see us Yankees. How you feeling about the Yankee Rose?
Hey, you know, the cool thing is, like, as many times as we've been to the St. Lawrence, this will be the first time I've like spent any time in the lake.
Okay.
Much. So I'm pretty excited about that, just because I'm gonna get to see some new water, places I've never fished before. You know, I've never been out of Clayton, so this is new. So I'll get to spend all my practice, you know, like in different areas from normal. I like that. And then we're going to Mobridge, South Dakota. Again, is a new place, basically.
Yeah.
Because we were 2.5 hours south last time. So we're going to a new body. It's almost like we got 2 bodies of water. And honestly, the Mississippi River at La Crosse is one of my favorite places to fish, period. So exciting times, you know.
I got to ask you this. I got to ask you. Here, check this out. Now, give me an unbiased answer on and we'll leave it with this. Top 3s for the remaining 3 derbs. So top 3 for New York, top 3 for Dakota, top 3 for Wisconsin, Minnesota, wherever it is.
You mean the weights?
No, the top 3 players. Who's finishing the top 3? Who's the guys?
Oh, well, you know, Corey and Chris will definitely be favorites at the St. Lawrence.
Okay, who's another one? Throw another guy in the.
Typically, man, Fighter catches them every time we go up there.
Okay, he does. Yeah,
he always finishes in the top 10 or better. You know what I mean? Like, he's even though he's not from there. You know what I mean?
I
like,
do.
It must be similar type fishing to Minnesota. You know, because he seems like he just really understands that place.
Yeah, I got you. There's 3 there. How about Dakota?
You know, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Because it's going to be a lot of guys' first time there. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be new to everybody. You know, I know a few guys. Only thing I heard was a few guys went out there and pre-fished. They said it was stupid how good it was. You know, I don't know. It'd be hard to pick.
Charlie Hartley. I wish, Charlie.
Well, here's the deal. This is what we don't know. So, dominantly, the St. Lawrence will be dominated by, chances are, finesse fishing.
Okay.
Not that the guys that finish in the top 10 power fishing. When we go to South Dakota, we don't really know. Will it be a power fishing deal? Will it be you know what I mean? I kind of get a feeling in my mind it could be a power fishing deal. It may not be a deal where a guy goes out there and just, you know, wants to shell the bites. It might be a deal where you can wind something around or something to catch some big ones. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about that place. Just the last time we were there, it didn't fish very good. The water was really high. The wind blew, literally, it blew the top off the building and where I stayed at. Yikes. The wind blew and turned the place to mud. And it just really jacked up a lot of it.
Who won that one again? Who won that?
Art Daniels Jr.
Oh, that's right. On the Ned rig.
He caught him pretty good, but I don't feel like he caught what was there, if that makes sense, because I think we were there just everything lined up wrong. That bad weather, the lake being high, it muddied up so much of it, and it wouldn't clean up. There were just miles of it that was unfishable.
Yeah.
And this time we're going to be there. That's a better time of the year to be there. I feel like it's going to be really good. I mean,
looking forward to it, actually. Looking forward to that one.
I think it'll be good.
Mississippi River. Talk to me. Top 3.
I'd have to pick Prosnick. Seems like the last time we were there in a Bassmaster, he finished second behind Ish. Who else would be? I mean, dang, man, you about got to pick Seth again because, he about won. I can't remember. We've been there several times. He about won.
Second place.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. Fishing the Carolina rig. I don't remember.
Yeah, and he was swimming a white jig. He was locking up.
Yeah.
To pull 7. I don't know if we have any.
Why didn't you pick you? You got it. Why aren't you the third guy?
I just like to be surprised. I just like to be pleasantly surprised.
That's the Predator's trick. He surprises the bass. That's right. That's what you do. Dude, did you ever think about this? Put this to perspective here, Greg. 12-year-old Greg Hackney, Arkansas River, watching Mr. Scott and Rick Clunn, and it leads to this. It leads to this. Like where you are now in bass fishing.
It's crazy to think of, because I grew up in a town that still has about 2,000 people in it, rural America, and to have a chance and, to travel the country and be a professional bass fisherman as a dream as a little kid, it's pretty unbelievable, honestly.
Yeah.
When I look back on it, like there were so many guys that were, my heroes growing up, and I've got to talk to most all of them on a face-to-face, one-to-one, and had conversation. That's a cool thing in itself.
Yeah. Dude, as crazy as it sounds, you're one of our heroes. You really are.
Well, I appreciate that. Maybe I shouldn't tell you all about me then. So
no, we want to know that, believe me. But you really are. You are an iconic figure in bass fishing. 12-year-old you, man, he loves you. He loves you right now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I just love to fish. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, I just love to fish.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. And Clunn wins 40. I'm like, oh my gosh, he won $40,000 for winning that classic in '84.
Nuts, dude. Mr. Scott's dream. Mr. Scott's dream.
You know how little kids, so many times, like little kids have little dreams that don't ever work out. Well, this one did.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that something?
It is. Man, I mean, I guess that just, you make your own bliss, You live your dreams. If you want to do something, you just do it.
Yeah, it's better that way. It really is better that way. And anybody can do it. Anyone can do what they want to do.
You only go around once, so you might as well go all the way around.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then the highlight ever of your bassing career, hands down, we learned tonight, Cialis seminars. Hackney. Yeah. I mean, milestone.
Talk about the hard rod.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, and just amazing time as usual, Greg. We wish you the best of luck on the final 3. I'll see you at the Mississippi River, and I'll bring you one of them wood plugs.
Perfect.
Yeah. You'll like it. You might want to shelf it. You'll be like, I'm gonna save this one.
Well, I appreciate that. I always enjoy it. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it's been a long time, dude. Like I was thinking about that today. Like 11 years ago was the first time I had you on that radio show.
That's wild, man. The time goes so fast.
Ain't it? Yeah, you and I were yapping about St. Clair. I'm like, go fish for bucketheads. Screw them brown fish. And then, then you went and fished for bucketheads just because I told you to. There's the only reason why. It's the only reason why.
That was a fun tournament.
Hey, dude, you're awesome. Good luck. And just keep kicking ass. We look forward to many more years of watching you swing biggins right onto the deck.
All right, Jordan, and I'll see you at the Mississippi.
Absolutely. Bass Galaxy, give it up. That's Greg Hackney. He's the Hack Attack right there. Yes. Woo! I loved it. You know a lot about Greg Hackney now. What do you think? Hey, what do you say we put the power poles down uno momento and we come back with some tantalizing tackle talk with Polish Pete from Omnia Fishing. And we're going to give away the Tin Cup Whiskey prize pack. All that in a bag of Joey Donuts. Put the power poles down. We're coming right back. Step up your game. It has been said that professionals are only as good as the tools they work with. And Alpha Angler has developed the ultimate set of tools for you, the competitive angler. Alpha Angler custom rods, brought to fruition by the passion of master craftsman Jake Boomer and 2017 BASS Angler of the Year Brandon Palaniuk. Alpha Angler rods are custom made in the USA, designed and engineered to be perfect. Alpha Angler utilizes a very unconventional approach to making the very best bass rods, from drop shotting to flipping. Alpha Angler's focus is on building perfectly balanced tournament-grade bass rods at an affordable price. Join the Alphalution today and purchase direct at alphaangler.com. Step up your game. alphaangler.com.
Bite me! It's a command to the fish. Quality jig heads with quality components. With tried and true tackle like the Big Dude Goby head, the Hunter or Jacob head, or all new tackle like the Jackpot Net head or Buster Swim Bait head. Bite me! It's a command to the fish. Get the let out and visit BiteMeTackle.net today.
Throw farther, get some Kevin Van Dam's line and lure. You can launch it a mile. Still going. Well, better stick to fishing.
As a professional angler, I rely on my equipment to be successful on the water, and my eyewear is no exception. Oh, yep, good one. 6-pounder, 7-pounder. From daylight till dark, every single day of my life, in the truck, on the water. My Amphibia eye gear provide 100% polarized protection. They're ANSI safety rated for impact, and best of all, they float.
Welcome back into the smooth sounds. Straight Cast, the glorified version of a Bass and Talk show. Welcome to the Midnight Show. I'm Pat Remlick, your host, and pretty excited to bring to you from a bunker somewhere in the barrio of Minnesota. Give it up for Omnia Fishing's and the Bass Galaxy's very own Polish Pete Prispiora pontificating. Yes. What's up, bud?
How you doing, buddy?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You look good. You look good. You look more like a Linder every time you come on this show. And that's
it's my goal.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Thank you very much.
Learn to do the thing with your hat. You know Al's thing with the hat?
What's that?
Where he grabs the hat. You just take. Oh, look at you. Freaking Linder. Gosh dang Linder. It's in your blood. Welcome back. It's been a while, dude, since we had you.
It has been a while. It's been a wild summer so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. And you're just busy as a beaver.
Yeah. I did not expect to be this crazy this time of year, but we are. We're jamming right now.
Yeah, I mean, and people are getting baits, and people are bassing. There's a lot of people.
That's the thing about bass fishing and fishing in general. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. That's why you see all these hunting companies and private equity coming, all these business people out there trying to get into to the fishing markets, because it don't matter how much gas is, it doesn't matter what the economy does, we're going to go fishing no matter what.
We're going bassing. We're going because you can't stop us. It's like crack cocaine. You know, I mean, dude, like it gets them hooked.
Yep.
That
100%.
bass fishing gets them hooked. It's something else. So with that being said, let's spend about 40 minutes now talking about just tackle storage systems. And then let's take a bunch of compartments and make different size compartments in 3,700 boxes for the next 40 minutes. You want to do that?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's not do that. But let's do something else. Let's talk about our favorite baits.
Okay.
Our favorite baits that we've been catching fish on this year in 22. What did you just look at? What did you just do?
I had stragglers running through my house right now. I got the dog in.
I saw you out of the corner of your eye there. Pretty awesome. But I brought up tackle storage because I want to show you this, Pete. Now, this is actually my tackle storage system from the deck of the Crestliner. And
awesome.
This is a tin cup. Now, I hooked this right on the Hydrowave. It's got that little grommet. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Little carabiner.
Carabiner. Yeah, it's from the Pirates of the Carabiner Part 3. Donnie Depp's not coming back. But it's right on my Hydrowave. I hook it right there, okay? And that's like what I keep the baits in that I'm using today. For real.
Okay.
It keeps it still right there. And I just took this out of the boat. So this is what I've been using as of late.
Yeah, just to clarify, when we talked earlier, that's what I did. I literally walked in the door here. I was stuck late at a meeting, and I just grabbed the rods that were on the deck of my boat. So it's the actual baits that I've been fishing with.
Nice, I like it. I like it. And these again are the baits that I like, basically right out of my boat. You got the stuff right out of your boat.
Correct.
I mean, and I don't know. Let's just start with. I got some spinner baits in my hand.
Okay.
And this one happens to be a custom one. It's got a copper blade on it. I had for literally 10 years, Pete. It's got a little copper Indiana blade. It's got a red kicker blade, and I've gone through about literally 15 or 20 gold War Eagle frames in the 3/8. And this is that pond scum perch color skirt, and I put that little black double tail spinnerbait trailer behind it.
Yeah, the little twin tail. Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, that's a bluegill in a lot of the dirty crap that I fish. This is a brim or a bluegill, and I think the bass think it is too because they just eat it. They eat it around here. That's why I go through so many frames of this. And fact be known, like I thank you God that I still have this blade. When this thing breaks, I've been getting the correct part back. If you guys know what I mean about special spinnerbaits. All right, you'll like this one, Pete. Now this one is another War Eagle type, but it's the hammered one.
Okay.
With the gold or with the silver willow, that's a number 6 or 7, and then the Colorado, and then this is a skirt that I stole off a Bassman spinnerbait.
Nice.
Yeah, it's that. I actually stole it from Seth. It's that new fighter shad.
Yeah,
color.
I was about to show you the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I want to get those Bassman spinnerbaits. I don't have any. I'm gonna order. I need some chatter. I need some chocolate glizzy trailers and Bassman spinnerbaits. Now, Pete, show everybody that back arm, please. The arm from the head. No, from the head to the line tie. If you notice on that Bassman spinnerbait, it's super short.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's
hella
super short.
Yeah, it don't roll, and also I don't know this. I'm just and we're not sponsored by any spinner bait right now. But the deal is, I hear those don't break. Can you testify on that?
That's been the big deal with them, right? The people that have been fishing around. So it's especially the compact one. Even up here in my neck of the woods, we don't get as much super dirty water. We get that kind of perfect spinnerbait water in the spring. It's not super clear, but that greenish colored water, and that's what he really designed this color for. But these you can boat flip fish with. You can fish like heavier line. Like I got 20-pound fluoro on this, and you can just target fish them similar to the way you would like skipping a chatterbait or a swim jig or something like that. Fire it next to stumps and lay downs and stuff like that.
Sure.
Literally rip fish out of cover.
Ginge, you got those? And do you have some of those Bassmans? You got some, Ginge?
Yeah, I use that quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those have like those McClellan blades,
Very
right?
much so, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few different designs.
Yep. This one does have that turtle style mag willow blade or whatever. Bunch of different names for it. But,
Tortoise, yeah.
Yeah, you can basically boat flip them with this with a pretty stiff stout rod. And I've been enjoying this thing a lot this spring.
So it's got good vibration as well, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a great little bait. It's Fighters stated it a while ago, and I hate giving him credit for anything when he's busting my chops, but I've been struggling. I almost never was a spinnerbait guy, right? I missed that era where it was really jamming on everything. And when I got into bass fishing, already the swim jig was kind of coming to prominence. And everywhere my friends would throw a spinnerbait, I'd throw a swim jig with just different trailers, depending if I wanted more thump or anything like that. And I've been struggling the last couple of years with a swim jig. It's just not a numbers confidence bait for me anymore. It's losing its luster, and for whatever reason, that spinnerbait's just kind of taking its.
You know what the reason
again.
is? The gosh dang chocolate glizzy and the green glizzy chatter chickens catch so many freaking fish. The chatterbait catches so many fish. The jackhammer, it's so damn good.
Does.
I have trouble. I love swim jigs. I love spinnerbaits. I still catch fish on both of them. I catch more fish on a jackhammer than anything.
Yep.
Right now.
Yeah, and on that note, I've been running this thing lately.
Oh, what you got?
Yeah.
What you
this
got?
This is a little treat from your buddies over there at Berkeley.
Oh, see, I don't even have those yet. You got the you got the sludge pocker.
Yeah, this is the slobber knocker.
Yeah.
So I've been throwing this thing just a little bit. I caught the kind of the tail end of the spawn when I got them. Maybe in the spawn, but like kind of the tail end of the spawn. But as the grasses come up, this thing's been. I will tell you, for all you chatterbait purists out there, it's a great bait in the grass.
It is. Matt Robertson caught him.
Yeah.
So Seth and I were on the jackhammer.
Yeah.
And Robertson stole some of those when the Berkeley guys weren't looking.
Yeah.
And he, no kidding, all honest to God truth here, he caught as many fish as we did in grass.
Yeah, in grass. I think that's the deal with this thing. And I'll straight shoot everybody. I think the deal with this thing's straight up grass. It is a vibrating, like, with a lot of non-jackhammer bladed jigs, you fire it in the grass and you got to keep ripping and get like a pocket to run it to get the blade to start smacking. This thing will smack.
It plows
in the
through
grass
it. It
while
plows
you're
through
ripping
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're ripping it. You feel that blade just smacking. So, no big startup runs with this thing to get the blade to go. The skirt's made a power bait, so it stinks. It's a pretty cool little bait. And then I got the power bait, the what is this thing? Power stinger trailer.
Yeah, I was throwing that the other day. I like it.
Yeah. So it's got a honeycomb tail. The plastic's honeycombed out. So what's great is it doesn't thump hard and throw take the head action of the blade out like a lot of like boot tails do, and that makes the bait come up in the water column. You can keep this thing sort of deep with like this trailer.
And they have both sides. They have 3.5 and 4.5 in there.
Yeah. I've been really impressed with this bait, to be honest.
It's nice.
It is. It's a good bait in their lineup. I think people are going to be really impressed if they can get their hands on it.
The only thing I would have done if I was the scientist, which I'm really not a scientist. I might look like a scientist, but I'm not, Pete. But I would have made the 3.5 size have the porpoise tail So flat.
Oh, the flat tail.
Yeah,
Like
flat.
the Magic Shaft.
Yes,
from,
sir. Yes, sir.
From
And
Lake
then
Fork.
and then I would have made the 4.5 have the fishy tail.
I it's a good call out. Yeah, I like that Lake Fork shad, so I'm with you on that.
But I'm going to tell you, I did try the 3.5 behind the jackhammer the other day, and I caught just as many fish as I did on my usual thing. So it takes me like, I mean, I think that's something that's very real, even if there's a lot of anglers out there that are sponsored by certain companies, but sometimes we don't have the confidence in other baits.
For sure.
So we use other lures. But here's the thing. We do build that confidence. So, like, for example, I built my confidence in that new Berkeley trailer.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't need to throw Lake Fork anymore. I'm just being real. Because I like that.
I will tell you that honestly, they hooked me up with some of them to try them because I was kind of giving them the speech of like, guys, it's another bladed jig that like, that's not going to be a jackhammer. And they're like, try it. We've worked really hard on it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very confident everybody, once they get their hands on it, is going to say exactly what I said. Thing's a ripper in the grass.
I don't have it yet. I saw Maddie smash them.
Yeah. It's not a joke. It's the real deal. It comes through the grass insanely good.
I got a green glizzy in here. This is that's a jackhammer.
Yep.
And that's the green glizzy special color. I want Omnia special colors, by the way.
All right.
So, all right, we're gonna try this. And that's that slobber knocker that you have is in that new shad color, and I like that.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yep. Without a doubt.
That's real nice. Hey, guess what? I got some plugs in here.
I was shocked that you'd have some plugs.
I got some plugs in here, and I have a topwater plug and 3 crankbaits. I want you to guess the 3 crankbaits, and I want you to guess the topwater plug. Okay? Go ahead, Pete.
All right. 3 crankbaits, I'd say Fritz side.
Yeah.
An old Bagley.
Okay.
And wow. You got some weird like Indiana flat side, some
No, nothing like that at all. I got a Fritz side, a Fritz side, and a Fritz side.
All right, there you go.
But I have a Fritz side 7.
Okay.
I have a Fritz side 5, and then I also have the square bowl. Now,
square bowl.
Yeah, this is.
I've not thrown the square bowl,
dude. It's good. This is
I've heard.
This is the big size. Like it's. I think they call it 7.5. I should know this, but I think they call this 7.5, and it's compatible. It's right between like a 2.5 and a 3.0 type thing.
4.0,
Yeah, you know what I mean, like or a Balsa B2 and a Balsa B3 if you want to get back old school. But here's the thing about this. It's got a little bit bigger square bill on it, on the square bowl, and it's kind of coffined out. The bait runs deeper, and it just knocks off of stuff really good. It catches
Does it?
It catches them, dude. It really does. I'm into this in the dirt water right now because it's got the rattle. That's why.
Cool.
And when I get in that dirt stuff, I throw a crankbait with a rattle. I'm talking real dirty. Dirty.
I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
That's when I bring out the rattle plug, and that's why that's there. I got a Fritz side 7, a Fritz side 5. You can never go wrong. And here's my new little love right now, and that's that dang Berkeley popper, the bullet pop, bud.
Oh yeah? I haven't thrown that popper either.
I love it. It's this P71. It walks. It throws good. It reminds me of that pop bar deal, and and I've been catching a lot of fish on it, Pete.
I threw the Chapo a little bit last year. I haven't thrown any of the other Berkeley topwaters. Seth got me on that Arashi pop.
Yeah, it behaves a lot like that.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Because that behaves a lot like the old pop bar as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, it does. What do you got, bud? You're up.
So I wrecked one, but I got a pretty one here to show you guys. That's that. That's that sleeper gill from Megabass.
Sleeper gill.
I had 2 days of I got hosed and everybody else is going to get hosed on this thing. Like I didn't catch nothing on them. And then I had a bluegill bed day that I just brained them on this thing.
Wow.
It's the real deal. It can be fished more like a swim bait than the dark sleeper. We got, I forget what the total number was. It was like around a couple thousand units. We moved in 4 hours when we got them. We don't get another batch till the end of the summer. So
you got those guys?
Yeah,
you got those? You got those, Jimmy? Jimmy's got them. Oh, you're sneaky. You're sneaky. What's that hook?
So it's believe it or not, the hook in it is, it's pretty stout little hook in the thing. You could fish this thing on braid if you wanted to in a medium heavy to heavy power rod. It's a stout little hook in this thing.
You know
it's
who might throw
hook.
that? Brad Lightner.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute Brad Lightner. It doesn't sink as fast as you think. They only come right now in 3/4. And I was like, oh, it's like a football jig, fire it out there. But you can fish this thing in a foot of water. The boot tail's so big and it's so bulbous that it kind of just slow fall. I
like that you said bulbous too.
Yeah, it is. It's like a little balloon. It's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
It's a cool bait. I have a gut feeling it's going to be a staple in the Mega Bass lineup for sure.
Hey, dude, and everybody knows that dark sleeper catches pigs.
It does. But I'm weird with that dark sleeper. I've all my best lucks come on the little tiny size ones for smallmouth, dragging it like a tube. The bigger ones, I've skipped docks with them and caught them, but I haven't caught them as good on the bigger ones. I think this thing's going to be a legit staple in people, like a new Mega Bass staple, like the 110. I do. Gotcha. I really believe that.
You ever get on that Sparky shad, bud?
It's probably one of my favorite baits on planet Earth. I can't get them enough. We burn through them really fast, and they've been hard to get this year. So when I can't get those, I run that X Zone swammer, swammer. That's a good substitute for it. It has kind of the same tail kick. Yeah. That Brandon Polinick swimmer there. That's a good one. And I run them on that Uozo, that bladed swim jig, the underspin swim jig from Mega Bass. That's a great bait.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That Sparky shad's good. And I know that you guys in Minnesota throw that big one outside a lot.
That's what I do with it. And that's why I like that big underspin swim jig, because it's more of a probably next couple of weeks here in Minnesota, we can get far enough offshore to start fishing some like real offshore edges, like deep coontail and deep rock and stuff like that.
Are you
same place where Choder throws his chicken?
Yeah, I know. Well, that reason I brought it up is because I seen the kid had it on his rod. I saw he had the chick in there, and then he had the big whatever we just said, Sparky, the big Sparky. Are you a jig fisherman, Pete?
It's my confidence thing.
Really?
That was what I've got into summertime with is Stealth Fighter here.
Yeah.
My new trailer's that Max sent Chigger Craw and the Blue Craw.
It's so good. Awesome. It's so good.
It's a good summer and spring trailer. Typically, be honest, I go to Menace Grub or even a little. I cut the arms off a rage bug, and cut a rage bug down.
Sure.
But that I've been running the Chigger Craw so far this year, and I've been a huge fan. And it ain't because it's just Seth's jig either.
It's a damn good jig.
That's the stealth. This is the stealth. I believe it or not, just to tell you how honest I'm trying to be. I'm not a big fan of the cage. I'm a stealth guy, 100%. Even the places where you should throw a cage, I like the Stealth Fighter a lot more.
I find myself doing that too when I throw that jig, and that's just a great jig in the MILF. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
It's a grass jig.
Now, here's what I notice on that jig. Our buddy trims it up a lot more than you do, and so do I because he does.
Yeah. I've been fishing it and some pretty heavy grass on deeper grass, right? So this last couple times I've been out, so I wanted to fill it up as much as I could and get it to fall pretty slow because this is a 5/8. It's a pretty heavy one for this little jig.
I got you. It's a compact jig, man. That jig is really small, bud.
I know
for what it is.
I mean, most of the checks I cashed the last few years in Minnesota have been on a football jig. I mean, we throw football jigs a lot. It's probably my confidence bait. That jig right there on milfoil, docks, everything. I fish that jig, and then I fish a football jig a lot.
It catches them. And I guess I'd be amiss if I didn't have jigs in my tin cup tackle storage system, and I do.
Whoa. Which ones?
Well, dude, I've been on this. I got this Berkeley grass jig. This is a 3/4, and I haven't fished. I haven't given it enough chance yet, so I can't talk about that. But I've been smashing them on that 3/8 Berkeley power bait finesse jig, and like I love it. It's an old school archetype head. Do you guys have these, Pete?
Yep.
Okay. This is an old school archetype head. I mean, like it doesn't get any more historic bass fishing shape than this. The line tie is flat, and it's what do you call it, Pete?
The horizontal line tie.
Yeah, horizontal line tie, and it's recessed in.
Yeah.
I judge jigs by I don't have that Greg Hackney hookup percentage or that Seth Fighter hookup percentage on jigs. A lot of times I screw up. I don't pay attention all the time. I'm a very absent-minded guy. I don't know. I get confused easy. But here's what here's what I do. I check this whenever I buy a jig. The distance between the eye and the point of the hook. I want it to have distance. And that's what I judge it on. That Stealth Fighter jig has perfect, in my opinion, has a perfect hookup ratio. Okay? And so does this new in the 3/8 size. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it.
I haven't fished any of those Berkeley jigs yet. I was intrigued by the football jig, but I haven't thrown it yet.
I haven't thrown it either. I've only thrown the finesse jig and a little bit that grass one, but I put the 3-inch chigger craw on it. I trimmed the skirt all the way up, put the 3-inch chigger craw on it, and it's my new confidence deal. I catch buckets, I catch brownfish, all that on it, all that. All right, now you're gonna freak out when I show you the next jig that I'm throwing. And I said jig that I'm throwing. That's the next jig. This is a craw tube.
I've got a human-sized bag of them out in my garage.
Yes, you have an inflatable flailing arm blow-up size thing full of them, and like, and our buddy always says like that is a jig. You know, like what is it? It just gets it gets big bites, dude.
Dude, we've tried. I've picked his brain about it for years when. He's the one who got me into really throwing it a lot. I'm like, why? And he's like, I don't know. It just works. They eat the thing. They eat it. But it's weird. It doesn't work everywhere. It's really weird. Like I've fished around the country, luckily with my last couple jobs. It's not like a rage bug, which is what I got on here for the same purpose.
You and Hack.
Yeah. I mean, I've been throwing this thing a lot. I'm in love with
rage bugs are awesome, dude.
I mean, over the last couple of years, I've thrown them more and more and more. But that, I lost the bag of hooks. They're over there. This is that muscle hook from Ichikawa.
I love it. Yes,
dude, this hook is just a beaner. That it brains them. It's almost should be outlawed. It's mean. But this thing will catch them in just about any different part of the country. But for some reason, if the vegetation's super, super thick, and I don't know, you're north of the Mason-Dixon line, that craw
You're right. You're right. I think it is
just the deal, dude.
Yeah, I like that muscle too. And Mr. Ichikawa is making me some with rings on it, dude. They're gonna make me. I'll get you some. I'll give you some. Yeah. I love that muscle hook. No doubt about it.
It's an awesome hook.
No doubt about it. And you guys got the craw tubes. I just got some tilapia from you.
We got they did let us know at Big Bite some supply chain stuff issues that they were having a harder time making the big bulk packs, like the 100 packs and 25 packs of craw tubes, which is what we sell the majority of. I mean, if you're a craw tube fisherman, you know it's you get on a craw tube bite, you burn through them. So most of us have big bags of craw tubes in our boat up here. So we do have some of the 100 packs and 25 packs, but we have tons and tons.
I am begging Berkeley to make them. I constantly beg Brad. I constantly beg him.
It's a great bait.
Imagine if we had that in Maxent.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Unreal.
One of my favorite memories with Seth fishing with him is way back in the day. He asked me to jump in a little derby with him. I think it was Minnetonka. And I didn't catch Seth just waxed him all night and day. And I didn't catch nothing that made the team anyway. You know what I mean? And at the very end of the day on a craw tube, he kept telling me, don't put that thing down. And of course I didn't have a lot of confidence in it. I kept trying to pick up other stuff, and he made me keep flipping the craw tube, and I caught a 5-pounder and we won. And he reminds me of that quite regularly.
That's awesome.
I saved the day with that 5-pounder, but I wouldn't have caught it if he wouldn't have told me don't put that craw tube down. So
heck yeah. Dude, that's a beast. It's a beast of a bait. Hey, speaking of beasts, Omnia is sincerely, as we say on Straight Cast, becoming quite the beast in the e-commerce store community. And you guys you keep coming up with like cool stuff, like cool little incentives or nudges, as you might call them. And I know you got some things. Is it happening yet, or can you talk about it?
Yeah. We got a couple of major things going on right now. Probably the biggest news we got going right now is it's our summer sale. So code summer20.
That's the 20% off.
Yeah, it's 20% off site wide. There are very, very few exemptions to it, but
is that the one where you and Seth fought and you got?
No, that's Shop with Seth. So that was something we did last year. We're doing it again this year, where if you sign up at shopwithseth.com, you can go on our site, you can see the giveaway, you can see it on our social media as well. There's links to it. Sign up, and you can bring a friend if you win. All expenses paid trip up to Omnia to shop with Seth. You each get $5,000 and each get a Sims rain suit.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah,
$5,000 each and a Sims rain suit each.
Yeah, to shop in the warehouse with Seth. So
you guys are kind. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun deal. So Seth always loves doing that one. So we're doing that one again. That big, the summer sale right now has been just chaos. It's been nuts. But it's funny because right now it's typically not the time of year we would do a sale. I know you see a lot of 4th of July sales. Our leadership's kind of against the whole trying to capitalize on any of the national holidays that it should be thought of for other reasons.
Like I agree too.
And Veterans Day, things like that. That's just typically not. It's nothing that we're against other people doing. It's just that
I share the same thought. Yeah,
we just feel like it's not a time. So after the 4th, we launched this summer sale, and it was more, in fact, because we were hearing it from our consumer base. More price matching us than normal, calling us about other vendors that are doing a bunch of, or other retailers, I should say, doing a bunch of sale, because people are hurting right now. The prices on everything, gas is ridiculous. Just the cost of things is just wild. So we thought we'd just do a summer sale right now. Time to stock up on some summer type baits. We know for most of the country, other than the deep south, it's a real transition time of the year. These fish are setting up offshore. We're kind of 100%. Switching our tackle over, and I'm busting out spinning poles, your worst enemy. And it's getting to be that time of year.
And dude, let's face it. I don't care who you are. 20% off helps. It's not no lame 10% deal.
It's a good deal.
20%. Yep. It's legit. You guys got electronics and trolling motors and stuff yet?
We have gotten them in randomly throughout, for a while now. We didn't buy that much of it. It's more on us than the manufacturers. Like most of the supply chain stuff we've got on order in big giant volume that we just don't get because they can't get it. It's not like with electronics, that's a mess for everybody, but we honestly didn't go that big. That wasn't a plan for us till we were in our new facility next year and we have more room and we can carry a lot of it. Because imagine you've been to our space. We don't have much room anymore.
Yeah.
And we don't have anywhere to put all that stuff. So we do have some trolling motors, some electronics, mostly Humminbird and Minn Kota. We get some Lowrance stuff in.
It's easy.
But that's very soon to change. The couple of the founders of our company have a pretty extensive electronics background.
Yeah, I heard that about them.
Yeah,
I heard that about them.
There should be it'll be a big part of our business down the road, but we're still scaling up to that part.
Dude, you guys are like we were saying with Heck, cool AF. and like you're a fun place to shop and hands-on experience. Let's face it, 10K giveaway.
Oh yeah,
go shopping with Fighter. He'll even bum you a smoke and not even want one back.
Yeah.
And you get a Sims suit from Patterson. Patterson's going to come custom fit you with a tape measure. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool deal. And going on right now, 20% off at Omnia Fishing.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss out on it. It's going to be, we're pretty well stocked up right now, like as good as we have been since all this supply chain nightmare stuff started. So
yeah.
I would.
I'm going to get some Bassmans tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm calling up Kip and Bros. And I'm not even gonna order the like normal people. I'm gonna call up on the phone, tell them, and I'm gonna just
phone order it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna demand shit. I'm gonna be and then I'm gonna have them like do crazy stuff, like go ask Pete this, and then they'll come back, and I'm gonna go have them go, hey, could you ask Pete this, and then go over there and do it again.
It happens every once in a while.
Yeah, but that's the cool thing about Omnia, and we appreciate your support at Omnia Fishing of the Stray Cast Show. Sincerely. Thanks,
buddy. No, we appreciate your support as well. You're an early supporter of ours.
Yeah, you're cool. You're a dude. You're a cool company, and we like. I mean, that's the thing about the fishing industry. I think people should only be involved with cool people, because when you're not involved with cool people, you could tell you're fake. How else could I put it? I don't know.
Sure.
It's the company you keep, Polish Pete. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bud. Hey, 20% off summer 20, OmniaFishing.com. Sign up for the Go Shopping with Fighter. Stop in there. Go fishing with Polish Pete, and he'll talk to you about everything you want to know. And what are you doing? You got any more Bassmaster crap with I shouldn't say it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just you got any more Bassmaster crap going
we were talking about it tonight. I left work late because we were in a meeting about it, but we'll be streaming the Bassmaster event at Oahe, so the South Dakota one on Millbridge there. So you'll be able to live shop that one. We're going to be doing that again. We got some more tech to roll out for that one. So
plenty of crap to buy.
Yeah, lots of stuff to buy. We got a lot of smallmouth stuff, so should be fun. It's going to be an interesting way to wrap the Bassmaster season up there. And then I might come down and visit you while you're down there at La Crosse if I can get out of my meetings. Got ICAST coming up, but for the next few days, I'm going up north to finally catch me a 5-pounder this year. I'm stuck on 4. So
send me some pics, okay, Pete?
Will do, bud. Talk to you soon.
I want to see some big ones of you and the missus catching some grandes. You know what I mean?
That's the plan.
All right,
but
be good. Catch tons of fish. Thanks again for all this. Hey, Ginge, let's let Pete do the Tin Cup prize. You want to text that to Pete? How about this, Pete? You want to give away the Tin Cup Fun Pouch tonight?
I think he might have. Hang on a second.
Oh, okay. Because we're off next week. Ginge is on vacation. He's going to Venezuela, peacock bass fishing with the whole family. He's bringing all the little kids to South America. And I don't know what I'm doing. But, yeah, that's why we did an extra long show tonight. And we're giving away an extra Tin Cup Fun Pouch. And you're going to announce the winner. What do you think, Pete?
I like it. And you ready for this?
Ginge, you giving him something?
And the winner of the Tin Cup Fun Pouch is Andy, and I love it, Summer. Andy Summer.
Andy Summer.
Yeah,
I seen his name before. Yeah. Summer. All right. There we go. Congratulations, Andy Summer. Direct message JR on the Stray Cast Facebook page, and Luke Foley's going to get you out your prize. There it is. It's another Stray Cast show, Pete. An extra long marathon one, but we're off next week, and then we're back the following week. And Choder's going to do an opens thing, and then we'll have the winner.
Oh, nice.
We'll have the winner of New York on.
So maybe it'll be Choder.
Yeah, it could be. You never know. Double New York winner. Wouldn't that be amazing if he could interview himself? That would be cool.
I think he has. He has.
That would be amazing. Pete, take it easy. Bass Galaxy, give it up for Omnia Fishing and Pistol, Pete, Polish.
See you, boys.
Chris Piora.
Take care, Ginge. Thanks, bud.
Peace. There it is, Bass Galaxy. Thanks. Marathon episode. I'm Pat Renwick, Andrew Ellenberger, Jimmy, the River Guy, and J.R. Ewing. Thanks, Ichikawa. Thanks, Sims Fishing. Tin Cup Whiskey. Yeah, there it is. Alpha Angler, Half a Spot Official. Sign up if you haven't already. Thanks, Pete, and all the guys at Omnia. Bravarni Swim Jigs. Damn Bravarni. He's a good, that old sailor him. Bravarni. Bite Me Tackle, Brad Zollers. Thanks for the getting the lead out with us here. Amphibia, throwing shade right there. Impulse Lithium. I'm digging my impulses, dude. I can get over the steel thing now, Ginge. I can get over the steel thing. Abu Garcia, thank you. Berkeley, thank you. Crestliner, we stay afloat with Crestliner. I power pull down for pleasure every gosh dang day. I'm Pat Renwick, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on Straycast, the glorified version of a Bassin' Talk Show. Thanks. Cal Sag Derb next week. Peace. Check it out, calsagbass.com.